매우 공격적인 음악 왜고 내 목에 기계 소리 빼 Once again Start coming back Hello 남의 떡이 더 크고 남의 여자가 예쁘고 내가 하는 모든 것 뭔가 좀 어설프고 그렇다고 누굴 수도
So hello guys, this is the Giant Bomb Community Podcast. I'm Ghost, and I come here with terrible news because I decided, because who cares about the other guys here, to cancel the Giant Bomb Community Podcast due to some really bad shit Phatmac said to me in the Google Doc we usually reside in. So, so fuck you guys. Like, I'm out. I'm taking the money and I'm running out. Like, I hope you're happy, Phatmac.
Are you leaving the podcasting industry forever?
Yeah. And so do you, because I have the trademark for Giant Bomb Community Podcast.
Oh, fuck.
no.
So you fucking make your own thing.
My life.
Alright, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Giant Unknown podcast, because took the trademark, so this is just Giant Fartcast or something, I don't know.
Cast if we're going by acronyms.
Sure. GBCP, I guess. To not be sued by Ghost's attorneys.
No, you've already got that acronym trademarked as well.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Well, but I don't know what to call this, but I'm here joined with Atlas.
It's a brave new world.
Yeah,
that's
brave
a
new
good idea. Like make a GBCP with Atlas.
Yeah. I'm on board with that notion.
Atlas is the clear star here.
And
Yeah.
scoring.
I get the special mention in the credits. This podcast is with Atlas.
You get the whiff. Yeah.
Also in my Atlas, Alaska Gamer, I mean. Atlas Gamer.
I'm not even on here for the whole episode.
Yeah, you're gonna
No, whatever. Like fuck.
He's like a cameo.
Yeah.
Guest starring Alaska Gamer.
He's guest starring right after the credits.
Alaska. Guess that.
Also joining us is a believer.
Hey, y'all. Maybe I should do that British accent that I didn't do last time.
Oh yeah,
That
I
I
forgot.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
have.
Lastly, the
So
evil
Portal-
Ghost.
So portal porn, you guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about the real stuff.
Yeah.
Something that the world was desperately needing.
I like that we bring off-topic discussion into the podcast. So, like, hey, we were talking about this, so let's talk about it.
It's pretty much expected ever since the semen discussion.
Yeah, like that.
Goes back.
Like,
I try to forget that.
It'll never leave you.
Yeah.
It's like semen.
We made sure that we made sure that it won't.
Yeah, I think you all just plotted that just to talk about it for so long. Like, yeah.
So, do y'all know what
Never
Funky
watched that
Forest
off
is?
again.
Wait, what?
Funky Forest is.
No.
Okay, good. Move on.
What? No, I am now intrigued. What are you talking about?
All right.
We do not talk about Funky Forest anymore.
Do you know
Oh
what
my
it is?
god, I know what Funky Forest is. Oh,
I'm so lost.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
so
not.
lost.
You know
Move
what it is? You don't want it? Do you think we should elaborate?
Oh.
Oh dear.
I don't think anyone could take any more dirty talk from this podcast anymore. I don't know. Just it's been
Is
too
this-
much.
No,
If this is what I think it is, that I am forever changed.
Yeah.
How about we just spare you all
Yeah.
and get into the game that I can talk about? The game
Hey,
that I came on.
Hey
to.
Alaska, what games have you been playing?
Like nothing different. Like since last week, I've played a lot more of Shin Megami Tensei 4 since
I heard
last
that-
week.
I heard
29
that
and a
game
half
is
hours.
good.
It's more than good. It's fucking excellent.
It's great.
What is
Okay.
SMT4? Is it like the new Persona?
No.
Oh, fuck off!
Get stabbed, motherfucker.
Is it a new game in the Persona series?
It's the Dark Souls of Persona.
That's a terrible thing to say.
That is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
I actually thought to describe.
Although that makes like the GAF OT, like that makes the name of that thread make way more sense when you know where it comes from.
Yeah, when I first
And then-
started playing
I don't
Nocturne,
want to know where.
I did think that like it's something like the Dark Souls of JRPGs because it's kind of, it's
It's weird to say because Dark Souls is technically an RPG. from Japan.
Of
So,
turn-based JRPGs. Dark Souls is a very different
Yeah.
RPG, but that was when I first started playing it. Because the difficulty and how it doesn't hold your hand at all. Like, it gives you what you need, and that's it.
yeah.
Alright, guys. I have
So-
a question for both of you. You SMT experts. I love
Yeah.
Persona. I love it with all my heart. If it has any relation to Persona, SMT is probably something I'll like.
You can use demons.
You fuse the fusing ideas will sound similar. The some of the spell names will sound similar.
Okay.
Combat system. You'll see
Actually-
where Persona's combat system, Persona 3 Enforced combat system, came from once you mess with the press turn system a little while. Otherwise, the two are very different in gameplay, pacing, tone, and pretty much everything.
Like, how's the game designed? Like, do you have to go through dungeons and just do you just go on missions and stuff, or is it open a world, or how is it
let's
set up?
So,
Is it linear? Just do this mission, then
Open world.
well, when you first start the game, like there are two main area locations in this game. There's the Eastern Kingdom of Mikado, which is where you start out, and then there's Tokyo, which is like a staple in like the main Shin Megami Tensei games because that's where they take place in a post-apocalypse setting.
Yeah, but
Like in Mikado, like navigating around it is very similar to the Persona games, where it's like not necessarily the part where you're like in a hub that you can move your character around, but like getting around the world by selecting a menu.
yeah, Mikado seems to be mostly explored through menus right now. And to be honest,
Yeah.
I'm 25 hours in, and except for story scenes, Mikado doesn't seem to have much to offer.
It's more like just a
Tokyo's-
place to return to
Yeah,
rest for free.
Yeah, it's a home base essentially. Tokyo is in that game
That's
where the meat of the game takes place.
Yeah, it's
as far as being
Mhm.
open world, kinda. You open up more areas as you go along, and you can go back through any area of the game that you want to. Pretty
Yeah.
much so far.
yeah. So like that's the thing that kind of I guess like only really benefits me in this case is that I've played several hours of the first Shin Megami Tensei. Like I played the translated ROM of the Super Famicom game. So and there are elements of it that are very similar. Like when the game starts out, like you're in a sort of like dreamlike state where you meet the characters that are going to be in your party before you actually meet them in real life. So kind of similar to the first game where you like meet the Law and Chaos hero, which in this game they're Jonathan and Walter. But like when you get to Tokyo,
how is Walter Chaos? Walter's like the most boring name ever.
Yeah,
I think it's because like in Japan, it's
Walter.
like
I'm Chaos.
Wadui or like Wadui
I don't
in
wanna-
Japan is supposed to be evil, so I guess that's where Walter comes from.
Walter,
And I think Jonathan's supposed to come from. I think it was Jose or whatever it is. That's supposed to-
Jose.
if your
Jose.
name's Walter, you're just evil. You're
Come on
Chaos.
down to Walter.
he's not.
Dude,
He's
fucking-
not
Well, it's
evil.
not necessarily
Phatmac,
evil.
Phatmac,
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
hold on a minute.
Did you watch Breaking Bad? Because Walter White is a pretty fucking evil dude.
Yeah, he's
And obviously Walter White is in Shin Megami Tensei, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, actually,
Demon
to
is
be honest,
If you join Chaos, can you cook meth? That's
Okay,
one of
okay, how about this?
It's not. They're not
Jonathan is-
actually evil. Like neither side is particularly evil or particularly.
It's one of those
It's
games.
they have two different ways of, like all SMT games have alignments and stuff, and they have two different ways of, two different ways of thinking about how the world should be run. All the games do this, and they all
Right.
have two different characters representing each side. Walter
Yeah, like the
Chaos
customers.
side, and Jonathan is the Lost side. They both have their ups and downs.
So this
Yeah,
is this is like a D&D alignment thing. It's like the duality of like chaos and lawful as juxtaposed with good and evil.
But they're not good
Yeah.
and evil. It's each side has their good points and their bad points.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
because these because the main characters in this game, you know, they're like in this game they are pretty well fleshed out. They've got good personalities, like good lines, voice acting, but you know, like they're not like Persona's characters in this case, where you're like continually talking to them and getting to learn more about them and get social links. They're they are made to be representations of the different sides that you can align with, which are 3. You know, there's law, chaos, and neutral. And I have not gone to the part yet where I'm going down the path of one of those alignments, though I am getting close. But besides Jonathan and Walter, there's a female, Isabeau, who's essentially this game's version of the SMT1 heroine. And that's basically the representative of the neutral alignment. She's like, kind of like you at the start, not so fully like siding with either alignment.
Yeah, I haven't gotten far enough to see how it'll go though. One quick note: Walter is a lot better than Jimenez, the Strange Journey Chaos character.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah,
that sucks, man. My last name's Jimenez. That's terrible.
Well, I mean, your character in
I
Strange
suck.
Journey.
Jimenez is. I just hope he dies one day.
Oh,
If
just like
you
in
take
real
the
life.
law
Or
and neutral route, you can't kill him.
Yeah.
I suck.
That's the thing.
terrible.
You're gonna have to by the end of
My name is
SMT
being poorly represented in a video game. I'm fine.
Dude, it is like you should play Strange Journey just.
I don't think
God.
I can.
By the end of any SMT game, any mainline SMT game, you're gonna have to kill somebody you were once friends with, because
Yeah.
I am.
And if in the
That's
case
great.
of in the
That's
case
great
of
because I am not
neutral
friends
alignment,
with Jimenez.
Yeah, because like especially in the case of neutral alignment, you're pretty much going to have to kill both of them,
Great.
Yeah.
which is like kind of like usually neutral.
Wait, so
It's
you have other
alignment-
friends that have those things, like, well, that are represented by Law and Chaos, or
it's just
No,
it's
it's
just
more-
3 representations.
Yeah.
are they like friends or whatever?
They start off as
Well-
friends technically, as your allies, but as it
But-
goes on, there's
yeah.
a character rift, and they just start to separate more and more.
Yeah, which,
Okay.
like when that rift happens, like again, this kind of goes back to like me having experience with Shin Megami Tensei 1, and like a particular character that they reveal specifically the identity behind the Black Samurai, who's this character that wears a black colored demonica from Strange Journey.
I thought he's actually black, like an Afro-American samurai.
No,
Like
shit.
Afro
No.
samurai. Yeah.
I think Afro
Afro
Samurai.
Samurai.
I think Afro
No.
Samurai is a trademarked product.
Yeah, I just gotta say, like at this point, like I'm kind of not so sure, like if there is any real tangible connection between this game and any past, like Shin Megami Tensei's, but just the use of like characters and concepts from the very first game, which I recognize, and I think is especially cool.
I tried to play the first
They're
game.
like
Yeah, I really don't want to like spoil like the reveal of that character, but god damn, it's so good.
What's
Although I
what
don't
was
like
Atlas gonna ask?
I was just going to ask if there's like, if you would say that there was like common themes, like how you said last week that there's a big theme throughout the Shin Megami Tensei games and a lot of Atlas games about sort of their influences from mythology. Like, does this game like strike similar notes in that sense as the previous Shin Megami Tensei games did?
Yeah,
It
it definitely
does-
follows some of the same themes. There's definitely nods to other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not like the later Persona games or even Digital Devil Saga, where like the main cast like involve demons that are related to a particular branch of mythology. It's more, it's just the recurring theme of law and chaos. Not necessarily the Messian order, but the Ring of Gaia, which is a reference to like the main forces that represent law and chaos.
Yeah, which is like a core central early element to Greek mythology. So
Yeah, I mean, like, and one thing they can easily tell that is definitely like part of makes sense as the being aligned with law are like is the monastery of the Eastern Kingdom Mikado, just because a couple of the characters there, Abbot Hugo, who's a humongous dick, just to put simply, like his outfit is very similar to like the Law Hero's outfit when he's reincarnated in Shin Megami Tensei 1. Which, again, these references don't won't really like impact you that much since none of you have really played the first Shin Megami Tensei. But for me, I found it pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good
It's
references.
good to hear that there are.
Yeah.
So should I buy this game? Is what I'm asking. Here.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think like Nocturne was probably rougher around the edges, but I think Nocturne was a more special game. It was weird, even for this series. It was weird in like setting and some other stuff.
Yeah, like
I'm probably gonna remember it more and like it better. However, this game, at least on a mechanical level, is just better. And there's a lot of improvements.
Just a ton of good streamlining. Like you can access Fusion at any time. You can save and load anywhere. And then like one thing I especially liked about this in particular, it kind of goes into the gameplay as well as streamlining it, is the quest system, or like rather the challenge quests. You know, where you go into Kei's Tavern in Mikado or to any of the hunter associations in Tokyo. The thing that I recognized about it is that the challenge quest system is actually pretty similar to the quest system in Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory, which is where you like basically take quests from bulletin board, but unlike accepting quests individually, like in Neptunia, Burroughs, who is like the AI helper in your comp, your gauntlet, who's a pretty great character as much as she is like a fantastic helper, automatically registers those quests for you so you can access them in the pause menu at any time. And that's actually a good way of kind of, because like at the point where I am right now, like there's a boss that I could go fight, but I'm a few levels under him and he keeps kicking my ass. So like I could just like keep doing some quests, which along the way will have me fighting against demons to get more XP and stuff. So that's kind of a good way of, putting other goals in front of you while you're doing what could essentially be like just mindless grinding.
Is there a lot of grinding in this game?
I haven't experienced much grinding. Like the thing is the combat system, the whole press turn system. If you attack an enemy and you hit its weakness, you get an extra half turn. You can use it as a full turn, but it's a way to get more turns. So if you manage to continually attack weaknesses, you can beat bosses and enemies that are a good number of levels below you. Especially if you manage to create a party that is strong against the boss's moves, and all have moves that are weak that the boss is weak to. So you can.
Is this stuff all explained well in the game, or is it
that's probably one of the game's problems. Its tutorial is really, really rough, and it doesn't explain itself particularly well. It's not. Hold on.
I thought it explained itself fine.
Well, you and I have also played Nocturne. We already understand the concepts.
Well, I haven't played it.
From a layman, I'm asking. Like, is it too hard for?
It's not too hard to understand. This is like the game's gameplay concepts are easy to grasp. But there's a whole lot of depth to explore there.
Right.
Expect to get your ass kicked heavily when you're told to recruit. Well, not just in general, but when you're told to recruit your first demon, because recruiting demons like goes through a rather bizarre like conversation system, which I actually kind of like, especially at this point, because I know what to expect from negotiating with certain demons, and there are different apps that you can like buy through your gauntlet that makes negotiations a lot easier. Like I've got
called apps.
Like I got Scouts Plus, which whenever I successfully recruit a demon, like they'll see if there's another demon in that battle that is willing to join my side as well. So depending on who I'm fighting against, I can effectively get 2 demons at once.
Huh.
But don't be scared of the mechanics. You can learn the mechanics easy enough.
I've played JRPGs before, so I'm probably okay.
You'll be okay.
What's up, Ghost? Yeah,
I want to know how the press turn system works, because from what it sounds, is it like so Devil Survivor has a system where when you get a critical hit, or you deflect something, or you exploit an enemy's weakness during that concrete battle with this enemy during the entire whatever, during this turn of battle with this, you get an extra turn. And it works, you basically can use it, and your enemies also get them if they exploit your weaknesses, if they get critical hits. Is this the same system? Does it work the same way, or is it something completely different with press turns?
It's very similar to that. You hit a weakness, you get an extra half turn, which means you can't stack another turn on top of that one. You essentially have a maximum of 8 turns. If you hit an enemy's weakness, if you get a critical hit, or if... Let's see, what was the other one? No, I think that's the only 2 ways you can get one. But yeah.
And like when you like use a turn, and if like when you do get a half turn, it does not stay on that character who earned it. It goes right to the next party member. And it's not like Personas where it stays on the same character that exploited an enemy's weakness and can just like use it over and over.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, I think that's enough SMT4 talk, unless you guys have anything else to say. Last thoughts.
I love the design of the areas in Tokyo. They're just a really ton of fun to explore.
You know what? I'm having a little bit of I have a little bit of an issue with that. Nocturne had a lot of memorable, unique and different areas. They all kept, the same overall theme, sort of. But they were all unique. This one, the areas don't seem all that different from one another. It all seems like post-apocalyptic demon-filled city thus far, except I did go into an area which was very reminiscent of Nocturne. I hope that Nix said that changed a lot later in the game.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's just a lot of detail that they put into those environments that it's fun to go around looking for relics.
It's technically amazing that this game works so well on the 3DS with no frame drops or anything whatsoever, because it looks really, really good for a 3DS game.
Yeah.
I'd say it looks almost as good, if not better, than Nocturne in some cases. It's just
it doesn't have the same.
Is that a compliment or?
Yeah, because
how old is Nocturne?
It's a
Nocturne with
PS2
shaded.
Okay. We are talking about a 3DS after all, so.
Yeah, a 3DS, I don't think it has quite as much power as a PS2.
Right.
But
I just want to
thought of Strange Journey that he's played.
We'll talk about it in a second. I just have one more question about SMT4. How does that feel being not being a proper console release, but portable console release? Does it feel weaker because does it feel like it's too big for a portable console, or does it feel like it's
does it benefit for being
contained?
Portable? Yeah, so it's a good question.
It feels very fine, actually.
It's portable because in Japan, which is I guess where this game is expected to sell most of, 3DS is insanely popular. Like Street Pass is used then. But over here, I do wish they could put it on a console or something. It's not a big deal for me because I can sit back. I have the 3DS XL, so the screen's pretty big. I can sit back and play it anywhere. It'd be cool if it was on a console. It's not a big deal for me, though. It is a pretty big, full-featured, I hate this term, but hardcore game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not for the fucking scrubs.
You get the man.
Yeah, and just the production values of it just feel rather exceptional.
That's one of the main reasons. Atlas has really gotten good at the presentational menus and stuff and graphics and stuff. I just want to check that out.
Yeah, very, very slick menus. Feel like there's way more voiceovers in the game compared to previous.
Oh, there's voice. Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a bit actually.
Localization is really good.
Yeah, there are instances where they won't fully voice dialogue that is going to be repeated over and over, when you go into a tavern to accept quests or something like that. But
minor
for most of the game, whenever it's something even minorly related to the story, there's going to be full voiceover for it, and it's really top notch.
And most good voiceover.
I think we've talked about SMT4 Ghostiet. I heard your rumblings that you were gonna counter all this.
No, what rumbling? No. I was also just playing some SMT games over the past week.
Yeah. And yeah, so like now that I've said my piece about Shin Megami Tensei 4, I'm gonna take my leave now.
All right. Bye, Alaska.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
All right, Ghost. Time to shit on Shin Megami Tensei.
I'm not shitting on. Okay, I'm gonna talk about. So I played 2 Shin Megami Tensei games on the DS. So I played Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor, which I also played a bunch of time ago, but I just never really got too deep into it. And I also played Strange Journey. And the thing is, there's a game of these 2. There's one that I enjoy a lot, and there's one I fucking just I cannot bring myself to love it. So maybe I'll start with Devil Survivor. Why I don't like it so. So does anyone play Devil Survivor?
I have not played Devil Survivor.
I'm getting confused with another. Like, is it Devil Summoner or Devil Survivor?
No,
Okay, there's Devil Survivor, which is a strategy game, and there's Devil Summoner, which is it's a remake of an older, series. Devil Summoner is an older series.
So you're not playing the strategy game then? Okay.
He's playing Devil Survivor, which is
I'm playing Devil Survivor, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wanted to play the game, so let's talk about it.
I'll make a quick introduction of what Devil Survivor is. So basically, Devil Survivor is kind of plot-wise, it's kind of as if you took what Persona is, with having teenagers, etc., summoning demons as the main characters, but then grounded in an actual crisis situation, not a big ass long investigation, but no, the world is ending in 8 fucking days. And also made it semi-realistic, as in you would portray it in because Persona games, you are pretty much chill about the whole we are collecting demons personas.
We're being invaded, being attacked.
Yeah, here it is. Here's this, just taking how people would actually behave if they had the ability to control demons, and how these demons would behave in this world. How quickly it would get out of hand when you would have demon tamers running the streets. And that angle is pretty cool, because while I didn't really get that deep into it, I really like the whole deconstructive angle of how this sort of thing works, because it's really refreshing to see a video game of this kind of approach the subject and go, well, you know what? If there were demons in real life, it would kind of be pretty fucked up and not this really cool, fun journey. And that's fine. And gameplay-wise, it's kind of as if you took Persona, like stuff from Persona, which is going through locations and stuff, and also took the basic turn-based Shin Megami Tensei combat, but kind of XCOMified it to make it more streamlined.
That sounds really interesting.
It is interesting, but unfortunately, it's not that really fun to play, at least from what I did.
What are your big problems? Yeah.
First of all, it's the demons so far suck ass. As I said, I am not really that deep into the game, but you have stuff. So there's basically a big thing apparently in Devil Survivor are escort missions when you have to protect sea and shit. Yeah, and the thing is, there's a very early on there's a mission where you have to protect a character, and the problem is that you kind of have to. I read on GameFAQs, etc. I looked for advice how to tackle it, and basically everyone gave similar advice that you have to do things in a very linear way to proceed. It's almost as like a combat puzzle. Only it doesn't really fit very well with the gameplay they're trying to go with. Because
so you only have one real way to win. That's not.
Kinda is for example, to keep the character in question, Haru, I actually had to use 2 very concrete demons with my other team members to proceed to her. I had to immediately go to her, or else she would get basically gangbanged by a bunch of demons who would use her speed to fucking 1, and then proceed to wail on her. And
that sounds like my Saturday night.
Do you mean literally, or
you're demon gangbanging a girl?
Yeah, there's also roofies involved.
Yeah,
that's an excellent introduction to the podcast. Actually.
Yeah, it's a really good entry.
Thank you. I try.
You had a question, Believer.
I was gonna say, do you mean literally in story reasons, or were they just gonna kill her or something?
No, they're killing her.
Okay.
They don't go
Again, just like my Saturday night.
so dark into it. Yeah. Anyway, you have stuff like you have party members which you control yourself, but these guys level up themselves, so you can choose what stats you want to increase. And for example, one character, Atsuro, is complete. Not only is he an annoying fucking git in story, he's your Lancer character who's just completely insufferable. But he also has the problem that he doesn't have MP and it's a game, and most of your skills and damage dealing and gameplay relies on magic points because you can't really restore them in gameplay because you don't have items, at least so far. Maybe they introduce that later, but you actually what you bring on the battlefield is what you get. Like you can switch per demons, you can summon more demons, etc. But you have to rely on the MP points you get when you get into, unless something changes later on. So he's basically useless because he's on level 10 and he has 24 MP points, and the usual spell of like Aggie takes 3. So he basically is out. If he lands a weakness hit, he's basically out of the competition after like 2 fights, which is a real shame because I enjoy the story. I enjoy and I enjoy what's happening in the gameplay, but it just all seems extremely unfortunate. Because, for example, the menus, which you spoke that Atlas got better at designing, are bad, or it's really tedious. For example, when you fuse demons, not personas, when you fuse them, you don't get the diagram you got in Persona or in other SMT games, where you clearly see what kind of alignment and what kind of level and what kind of name is going to be and who else you can fuse. No, you have to go into the menu, you have to select one demon, you have to scroll to another demon which you want to fuse with, you have to select that demon, then you have to wait like a split second before the game animates the appearing demon, even if you already have him, and then you have to do it manually. And it's just, everything takes a lot of hassle with all that stuff. It's not this, like I play also Strange Journey and just infusing stuff in that game is just pure fun. Like I'm having fun seeing what's going to happen when I combine a harpy with a goblin. And there it was just, especially, and the problem is like you can't really collect demons in any other way because instead of like the compendium, etc., you get auction house where you can auction demons. But A, the prices are steep. B, we can bid, you can auction them, but you never really get a significant price drop to bother most of the time, and you get a finite number of cash, and to get that cash you need to grind. But the more you grind, the less cash you get, even despite the fact that there's a system that rewards you for doing stuff good with more cash. So it's kind of really like someone never really thought too long about designing this stuff and making it work. So I'm probably going to skip Devil Survivor and just go straight to 2, because 2 is apparently much fucking better. Which, hooray.
Yeah. They remade the first one for 3DS. What? Atlas?
That was my question. Are you playing Overclocked?
No, I'm playing this one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing actually really good stuff about Overclock, because apparently all it does, it adds another day and adds voice acting that's kind of at points. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's about the game I didn't enjoy, but I also decided to play with you. Hearing you guys talk all this stuff about SMT4, I decided to hook in some Strange Journey.
Yeah. So.
That's the only other like mainstream SMT game I've heard of, apart from Knuckle and shit.
For the layman, like, where does Strange Journey like supposedly fit into the?
There's not really a timeline. They're connected somehow through a sort of multiverse, but Nocturne and Strange Journey and SMT4 are all very separate stories taking place in different universes. There's nods to them, and they might be related in some way, but they're not exactly related. So as far as timelines and where they
Yeah.
fit, don't worry about that.
And Strange Journey is apparently in space.
Space.
There's a big fucking ball of energy.
Space.
There's a big fucking ball of
Oh.
black energy that's trying to consume the universe, and you are a part of a space task squad sent to take care of that shit. So it's in space.
SVT. Yeah.
And I like Strange Journey. Like it has problems. Like so basically, it's really similar to what I heard about SMT4 and what you would get in Persona. And you have a base of operations where you only really have a sick bay, a lab where you buy shit, and a command room where you save your game, and a deck where you go to different places. And you go around through maps in first person, and after a while, you have a bar that fills up, or changes color, and after a while you fight enemies. But the difference is that unlike like Devil Survivor and unlike Persona, you actually have the whole demon negotiation mechanic. So that's really cool. I like that part. I like the combat, which is also done in first person, and it's very what you would expect from this sort of game, and what you would expect if you know like Persona or anything. It's still exploiting weaknesses, etc., etc. Although you don't have you have an infinite number of turns. So it's not like you really have, like you have to you are pressed for time, or you only get a maximum of 2 in set encounter, like in Devil Survivor. And I don't know, I like it. Apparently it's really long, so I guess yay, because I'm going to have a long time to play it. But there are problems with it. First of all, the game isn't really that good at explaining to you what you're supposed to do. Like, it's not rocket science, because like there's not. I don't think there are like a ton of deep mechanics into it. But for example, there's the demon co-op mechanic that basically, if you have the same alignment and exploit a weakness, everybody
Everybody
you will do a
attacks.
follow-up. You will do a follow-up attack basically, and they kind of tell you, yeah, there's demon co-op mechanic, and we sent you the info to your PDA, so read it. But they explain shit like talking to but they exploit shit like talking to demons, or like the act of fighting, or the act of buying stuff in the shop, like for 4 screens. So it's really weird. And writing is not really that good so far.
Yeah, the writing never picks up.
That's a shame.
The tutorial in Strange Journey, I mean, I guess it's not great, but it's better than the non-existent tutorial in SMT4. Like, there's some hints as to, how to play the game there, but not tons.
It's a shame that we can describe both of these games as being lacking in the tutorial department, because I feel like if ever there were games that deserve like really good tutorials, it's these, because they sound great, and I think to a lot of people they're just intimidating because of their sort of layering on of mechanics and systems and like.
The mechanics.
They should have treated SMT4 like a introduction to new people.
I'm not saying that they need to bend over backwards to.
No. I mean in the tutorial part. Just give them a good tutorial and then beat their ass. Just not make it easier, but just explain stuff better.
I always get the feeling from these games that there's an assumption going in that you played the last 4. Why?
Apparently that's a common. Apparently that's a common problem in.
It makes sense. I don't know.
Japanese games.
It makes some sense.
It does.
A little bit of sense, but it's been a long time since a numbered SMT game's been coming out, so I would have expected a bigger push into
It does have an easy SMT4 does have an easy mode, so if you feel like the game is too hard,
that's not.
I know it's not a tutorial, but it doesn't have to be incredibly hard.
I wish it's not rocket science. It's not like it's something you'll get stuck on. But for example, it was. You actually get these documents in your PDA, and they actually explain shit pretty well. But for example, I was really confused if I should grind or etc. Should I really use the talking with demons mechanic so much, because it basically allows me to skip combat if I have the same demon I'm fighting right now. and it just seemed unclear. But apart from that, it's not really that hard to grasp, and it's fun, and I like it. And
did you recently buy this game,
no,
or have you had it for a while?
I stole it.
He emulated it. Atlas isn't producing
Yeah, I'm
any
a
more
fucking
copies,
thief.
so whatever.
Dirty thief.
Yeah,
but you know what?
piece
I'm
of
gonna say I have to say that
shit.
that's Strange Journey and like the SMT4 actually makes me really contemplate to buy a 3DS just to play those fucking things.
Yeah, it sounds like
on the
SMT4
go.
is the thing that you want, since Strange Journey's writing isn't all that good. So.
Did Strange
Something has to be
ever
said.
even come
Something
out
has
here?
to be said about the writing in that fucking thing.
So
I've
why
never
is it
seen
so
a quick
bad?
look and being unimpressed by the writing.
Is it like a bad translation, or is it?
No. It's okay. So I'm gonna start with a positive thing. I really like the atmosphere in Strange Journey so far. The music, the whole you're on a space mission feel is really good because it really makes you feel like you're on a strange journey. Like the thing I would compare it to is like Star Trek in a way, because you have this feeling of actually exploring this weird alien world, and everything is like a wonder, like everything is interesting, and the music and etc. manage and the part of the writing that isn't like the main story, but like conversations with your crew members. Like, for example, the lab guys who are always fucking excited when you bring them stuff to do.
So like the incidental dialogue.
Yeah, it really sells the whole atmosphere. But then you get into the like main writing, and as I said, the problem is like no one. For example, first of all, no one fucking cares that you are having demons. That you are in this. Like, everyone is just, oh shit, we're fighting demons. Okay, like.
Alright,
And then you have a Lancer character, like the game forces a second in command kinda on you, and his name is Jimenez, and he's really this annoying dick of.
I'm sorry, guys. You're right.
The problem with him is he's this really cocky, like, you know, I'm here for the money, you know. I don't give a fuck. We should get out of here right now. And he puts in gratuitous amount of Spanish. Like, he actually says a line that is, I was hoping we could get out of this Inferno as fast as possible. Like, he's like yeah, exactly. It's like
He's like a badly written rogue.
It's almost racist. Almost racist at points.
Oh.
Like it's
He's
like it sounds like someone hates the Spanish. Someone on the writing team hates Spanish. Like he interjects stuff with "Oh míos Dios."
He's supposed to be like the whole team in Strange Journey is supposed to be like a multinational group of people.
Yeah.
And Jimenez was supposed to be the American, and apparently the Japanese concept of an American is really cartoonish and over the top or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is really
something got lost in translation, or I don't know.
Which it's really weird because like your commanding officer for the first part of the game, like the prologue, is a big black man called Commander Gore.
But he's hilariously over the top. It's not really racist.
Yeah, but he's exactly but it's over the top. But he's not like talking in like he's not using like a jive turkey. Like he doesn't sound like motherfucker. We have like it's not over the top in this way.
Yeah, he's good over the top.
He's gung ho and shit. So it's and you get Arter. You get Arter, who is an artificial intelligence, and he's really cool because he's chill all the time.
Man, I forgot the lady.
Like he always thanks he thanks everyone and says like thank you very much for your contributions, Private Jimenez. Like it's really middling. And the worst part is that they really push Jimenez onto you. Like they fucking really try this. He's always calling you best bud and like I hope you don't go crazy on me, buddy.
We're amigos, friend.
That's kind of a.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think that might be the joke?
I don't know, you know? It's kind of like they made a character you're supposed to fucking hate. And just went, hey dude, do you hate this guy enough? Well, let's give you more of him because you'll hate him more than you already do. And do you hate enough? Do you? It's just really...
Just based on Japanese films I've seen and stuff like that, like, I feel like I've definitely seen some stuff where they take that sort of concept of like this annoying like sidekick who's like, always there and always saying the
So-
wrong thing and always.
It's,
not
kind
Japanese
of, it's not played
thing.
for comedy, you know. It's played for drama. It's played for.
But that's what I'm
that's the
asking.
problem.
It could it have been like played for comedy like in the Japanese version and
Maybe.
then
I don't
maybe
think so.
translated?
The game-
Like, it's
Go ahead.
go ahead.
The game is not.
Justin.
The game is not like it has a sense of humor, but that's not its main point. I don't think they would concentrate on it. If it were well written, they wouldn't concentrate on a character like this if he was supposed to be funny. Like this is the guy who represents the chaos side of the
Yeah.
game. He's
Big
not
shocker.
some one-note humor character. He's a major player in the game, and he sucks. The actual game itself is pretty fun. It's just that the writing is all over the place. It spews a lot of pseudo-scientific bullcrap. I said that last week, and it's held true for all that I've played the game. I mean, I don't mean to trash it completely because not every line is eye-rollingly bad.
Yeah.
But it's
Most of them are.
got its moments, but it's not all that great. And it's
Just, you know, when you-
definitely a
when you
bad
have-
mark on the game.
Like you,
Yeah.
because you know when you have stuff like Persona, which has great character writing and
Mhm.
dialogue, and you have a cast of characters that's that managed to endure on managed to be enduring and not fucking annoying.
I get
And
it.
even in like Devil Survivor, you also have an annoying Lancer character, but he's just annoying because he's this like cool hacker kid and shit. But But I can see him turning into something okay in the rest of the game, and he's just annoying and not just you don't want to like fucking throw something whenever he speaks. And he's not like a walking stereotype.
It's
just,
like they got the first draft writers to do the final draft of Strange Journey.
yeah.
Yeah, SMT4 is much better written all over the place. Like SMT4
Okay,
has been
so-
top notch as far as I've played.
Yeah. Fuck Jimenez.
So a last question. Like, so would it be an enjoyable experience to go through Strange Journey, like skipping cutscenes, like not paying attention to the dialogue, like
You kind of need to read the dialogue to know what you need to do next.
okay, so that's a problem.
It's not it's not like it's not like it's going to really hinder your enjoyment of the game, but just like it should have been and could have been better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would expect it to have been better.
It's still a good game. It's still fun. It's
I'm having
still
fun
well
playing
worth
it.
playing. But you just gotta ignore those lines. It's kind of like Borderlands 2. The gameplay's still fun. It's just that there are some really bad lines that you have to power through.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I should make it clear.
It's
It's not Borderlands 2 levels of
Yeah.
historically,
Tiny Tina bad.
legendarily atrocious, but you still have to power through. some
All
stuff.
right, let's get away from the Strange Journey and Ghost. You play anything else?
So I played a bunch of Trine, both 1 and 2, because there was a sale on Steam. So I liked Trine. I like the first Trine a lot because it's one of the games I myself find to be really happy in a way. Maybe not because it's dumb happy or shit or anything, but it's just it's like a fairy tale. The visuals, the music, the writing, Like when I played the first Trine, I got reminded of what I wanted the actual Fable by Lionhead to be, like a game that's really like a fairy tale. And it really sells it, and the co-op mechanics were and the game mechanics were fun. But my problem with the first Trine is that it really seems like that game was playtested once, and that's not because there were bugs or anything, but just it. For example, the rogue, the thief, Zoya in 1 fucking breaks the game. Because the knight is basically useless. Like you never use him for shit because she has so many overpowered mechanics and she really pretty much breaks the physics alongside with the wizard that there's really no point for you to use anything else than her grappling hook and maybe a floating platform from the wizard. So it really made a lot of stuff trivial and kind of a shame because they could have come up with something more to do. But fortunately, from what I've played of Trine 2, they seem to learn the lessons because I found myself to have much more fun with the other characters. Like the knight is actually useful, and he is actually like the combat in Trine. The first Trine was also a problem because they throw a lot of enemies at you all the time, so you had to be really quick about your puzzle solving skills because you would have to juggle doing platforms and also fucking up skeletons, which you would just never let up because someone figured that there should be an infinite spawn of them on this level. But 2 also seems much better about it, and the combat, like the combat there is fine. And there's no reasons to play it, and the writing is also, in my opinion, stellar. It's really cutesy. It's trying 1 and 2 really sound like something you could. The narrator, the way he reads the stuff, the way the characters interact and interject, really sounds like something my mom or dad could read to me when I was a kid. So it has a very, very endearing quality to it. I really like it.
Like a fairy tale, like a story tale.
Yeah. Like, seriously, it's like a story you could
Sounds
remember yourself hearing when you were a kid.
Oh.
Seriously, like that's why I made the Fable comparison, because that's what I wanted out of Fable when it came out. I didn't want snarky British humor. I want like winking and shit. I wanted like an actual high fantasy fairy tale. But yeah.
I'll accept that as that not being what Fable is about. At the same time,
Are you falling?
No, my microphone
It's a good question.
Yeah, you were like Alright.
Oh, I
you're
got
back
back
to
around
us.
the wrong way.
It's falling from grace.
Oh, so true, so true. I just have to. The British guy has to chime in to say that Fable is awesome. But yeah, actually, now that
Fable's fine. Yeah.
now that you mention it, that's actually a good point. Like, that's actually something that's kind of deceptive about Fable as a title for a game.
That is true, yeah.
So I have Trine on Steam.
You should
I play it? Should I play it with a gamepad?
No. Oh, you know what? I play it with just the keyboard and mouse controls, and it's perfectly fine. In fact, I find the ability to shoot my arrows and grappling hook to be much more precise, only because I have an actual crosshair on the screen. And I don't know, playing as like a dual analog game just doesn't seem too natural or anything.
I have a hard time playing Terraria, so I might have had a hard time playing this. It took me forever to get used to first-person shooter mouse and keyboard controls. I'm pretty good with them now, but I didn't adapt to them easily at first. So I'd probably stick to a controller.
I can't imagine playing Terraria with a controller.
It would be fine. You just aim like you do in Geometry Wars. I mean, digging would be difficult. I mean, digging isn't the same. They have a quick look at, I think, the PS3 version. Digging would be different, but like if you were aiming a gun, it couldn't be much different than Geometry Wars. You just aim and it shoots.
I guess so. Terraria is kind of fun. It's the only Minecraft style game that I've spent any time with, and it was alright.
I like Minecraft better. I played Terraria for 20 hours and then I can't touch it anymore.
Yeah. I
It's
think
like all of a sudden, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like I had my, and then I'm done.
I was about 15 hours when I hit that point.
I need to go back to Terraria for sure. I don't think I give that game enough playtime.
It's a really good idea. It's just something about it didn't work for me. Minecraft, on the other hand, I'll pick that up usually once a month and play it for a week straight. Anyway, back to Trine. Sorry.
Unless there's something more to say about Trine. Like, the only other thing I played this week, apart from Trine, shit and stuff, is New Vegas, because I played more New Vegas, because I got finally to the DLC. Ackbarthegreat.
Can I have a recommendation real quick? I haven't beat New Vegas, and I haven't played any of the DLC, so can we not spoil it?
I won't spoil.
You are the Fallout.
It's just...
Well.
Whoa!
You are radioactive.
Bomb.
I play that game.
I also haven't.
The big reveal is that you're a nuclear weapon at the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
You are the bomb.
You're a bomb, baby.
Is it like in
Yeah,
the Dark
like
Knight
that
where that
also-
guy's in prison with a bomb in his chest?
Yeah. Except it's nuclear.
So, I remember when I was last talking about New Vegas with Ackbar, we came to the conclusion that the DLC is like it should be a separate game because it's just so good in terms of writing and shit.
And it has its own self-contained story that like
Yeah.
kind of arcs in a certain direction.
And they do different stuff with the mechanics, often.
Yeah.
I'm playing right now Old World Blues, and holy shit, that thing is really funny. It's goddamn hilarious.
I know a lot of people didn't really enjoy the quick look where they showed and they just kind of talked for like 20 minutes.
They talked for like an hour.
Yeah, but
They
oh
do,
god,
but it's just so good.
the sad thing is that they didn't actually. They went through that conversation the fastest they possibly could, and I'm really sad that they did because if they actually went through that conversation and stretched it out as long as they could, it is absolutely hilarious. Like it's probably some of the funniest stuff I've ever
Like you get
game.
like the first conversation you get, you talk with 5 essentially, but one doesn't talk because he has his speech thing broken. You talk with like 4 scientists, brains of the scientists.
Yeah, who've become
Like-
disconnected from any sense of humanity.
Yeah, and one is James Urbaniak. So if you watch Venture Brothers, he's fucking Rusty Venture, basically. So if you like that character, you're in for a treat because he plays Dr. O, who is actually is Dr. Zero, but just no one
Yeah.
bothers to like differentiate. So he's Dr. O. And you got like a lady doctor who is very into humans.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
God, the misidentification of human anatomy during that conversation is
Yeah.
great. I don't really want to spoil the joke, but
Yeah, but like she's really into humanity as in like fucking eyebrow movements and stuff.
yeah,
And there's a third guy who is he was like a nerd who had
he
a
was like a
jock in college.
mathematician, wasn't he?
Hmm?
Wasn't he like a mathematician or something?
I think he was, and
Yeah.
he talks like an announcer.
Yeah,
So he's putting random emphasis on different words like big mountain all the time, and it's just. And then you got Dr. Klein, who is kind of the boss of them, and he just always screams. His actual like text is in fucking caps locked because he always screams. It's just
yeah.
you get a gun that has the brain of a dog, and it actually moves its fingies when you have it out, and it actually whimpers when you take it out of your inventory. Just
There's also you can just take a satellite head and use that as a bat if you want to.
Yeah.
Which is a great weapon.
and you fight robo-scorpions. And the entire justification for fighting robo-scorpions is, in universe, that the guy who made them thought that just saying robo-scorpion seems awesome.
And the final boss of that is a pretty good, one of the best final bosses
Yeah.
ever. I don't know why. It's just amazing how ridiculous it is.
So just to back up a little bit, what's the basic premise for Old World Blues? Like, just why are you there? Why are you doing like this weird? Because I played, a good amount of New Vegas, as in like 50 hours. So I
Like,
Oh,
know,
what's the DLC about?
yeah. Like, why are you there?
Basically before the big war. You
yeah.
want to talk it? You want to tell it?
I'll say, yeah. Before
on.
the big war, it was a big research facility out west. They dug into a canyon, think Area 51 kind of stuff.
Oh, this is all coming back to me now.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just
In a big mountain.
science research facility, and then everything got bombed, everything went to crap, but the scientists upload their minds into computers, and they've been sitting around for like the last 100 or so years, and they've just gone insane,
Right. Yeah. This is
and all of their experiments are running like loose, and everything is just ridiculous.
So it sounds very rompy,
Yes.
which is a fun word to say.
It's really lighthearted.
Yeah.
Like, Dead Money and Honest Hearts are very serious, but they're also greatly written. like like Dead Money is like actually takes all of the mechanics and puts them under head, because it basically turns New Vegas into an actual like survival game, because you have limited resources. You actually, and remember how most of the how I said one time that most of the stuff in modern games is fed to you, like you actually follow a marker on the map. Like here, you actually have to pay attention to the conversations and to the fluff shit you read, because it actually matters. Like for example, the flavor stuff you get in computers and audio tapes actually has tips on how you should go through the DLC, and like the other characters will actually remember what you told to them.
The major problem with Dead Money, though, is if you aren't building a stealth specific character, that can get really frustrating at certain parts. Like that part is Dead Money's very specifically meant to be like, don't really try to get into combat very often, because a lot of the stuff in this game in the DLC can't barely be killed.
Well, I played New Vegas as a mostly sneaky character anyway.
Then you're in for a treat, because it's for you. That DLC is
except I kind of.
I feel like I keep hearing that about the DLC. Like in these kinds of games, I usually like to play somebody who's pretty, big and outwardly strong and will. I mean, that works
too. It's just
I mean, it's only Dead Money's that's like that. Yeah. All the other ones you'll be fine. But Dead Money
even in Dead Money, it's only. Even in Dead Money, it's only for like the very beginning of the section, because then you start getting guns and ammunition for it.
Also, you'll get the best gun in the game if you're highly spec'd into energy weapons in Dead Money. If you get all the mods for it, that thing is almost unstoppable.
And even then, it's pretty fucking good. Like, the only problem is ammunition.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a ton of ammunition if you use it sparingly, but it only has like 4 rounds in the chamber, so.
That is, unless I think you can get a mod to make the clip bigger.
Yeah? I must have missed
it. There's like a few, there's actually like 4 or 5 for that gun over the course of that DLC, and they're really hard to miss.
And there's also Honest Arts. It's probably my favorite DLC of the bunch, because it features one of the most awesome characters in Fallout, and probably in video games overall, Joshua Graham, who was
the Burned Man.
Yeah. The backstory of Joshua Graham is that he was once a New Canaanite, he was a Mormon missionary, and then he met Caesar from Caesar's Legion, and became his legate. And he was very brutal and shit. But he failed during the first battle at Hoover Dam, so Caesar had him covered in oil, set on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. And somehow Graham survived that, and now he's trying to rebuild a tribal society in like a pristine valley called Zion.
And he also is continually fixing a 9mm pistol for some reason.
Yeah.
Alright, that loading animation.
Trapped in some sort of internal hell of reloading this pistol for forever.
It's mostly because, Game Brio didn't allow, the thing that the DLC also does is that they kind of try to, all of it really, kind of tries to fudge around with the whole, hey, I'm staring at you with my blank face stuff that really plagues Fallout 3 and New Vegas and Oblivion. They kind of try to do animations and stuff, but it really shows that they don't really have enough in the engine to do more.
Yeah. If there's one thing that Skyrim really, really improved, it's that.
That you at least can talk to people when they're doing something.
Yeah, people you can talk to a blacksmith while she's using. That's actually pretty awesome.
The worst thing, the best and worst is that when Fallout, when you try to talk to someone, and the camera just zooms in oh my god.
Yeah. I also like when their neck twists all the way around like they're an owl.
Yeah.
They start to talk to you.
Or I love I'm in a gunfight and then some guy just comes up oh, hey.
At the same time, the first time I saw that in Oblivion,
it's so goofy.
I thought it was amazing. But I guess in
context of the time period, yes, but now it just looks disconcerting.
Really hope.
Yeah, it was a huge improvement for Skyrim for sure.
Well, Morrowind was just a text box. You walk up to somebody and you talk to them, and they'd say hello or like a short little blurb, and then you'd read.
And then they would say, "I don't know what you're talking about."
You know about this? I don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck you.
Sorry. I'm stupid. I don't know.
Wanna give me money? so I can like you more.
Yes. Oh,
And
That's how the world works.
so
money,
It's a
money,
commentary.
money.
Honest Arts is great because it takes on. It has a very interesting character. He's voiced by Keith Sharabaika, who you may know as Rusty in LA Noire, and who you may know as Harbinger. And he's really good at this role because he's this very pious, but also very like brilliant and deadly, but also very calm guy. And you kind of get the creeps when you're talking to him.
No, it's like Harbinger.
In a different way.
I know.
Because what Honest Heart does, what Fallout normally doesn't, because like in the world of in the Fallout universe, like actual God, Christianity is not a big thing, and here you enter a place and you see how that could work in a post-apocalyptic world. And once again, the cool thing about these DLCs are they're trying to do stuff that's different. So Old World Blues does stuff tries to play around with the whole idea of 50s science applied to like post-apocalypse and stuff. Honest Arts does less with the writing, but what you remember how most of the wasteland in Fallout 3 and New Vegas looks like shit?
Yeah.
And I don't really mean that it like looks,
Yeah, it's a
supposed
wasteland.
to look like
It's
supposed to look like
dilapidated.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's in ruins. Yeah.
But like they play around with the geometry and texturing and filters in Honest Arts. So
Is that one the one that stars in Mount Zion, or?
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you actually enter the paradise, even though like the graphics aren't impressive, you kind of get the feeling, okay, I can get why this is paradise here because
Yeah, it reminds me of that section in Fallout 3 where you had like this village with trees and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like that section that this
That
isn't a
was
wasteland
great.
after all. Yeah, it was fantastic.
yeah, like, so
You
this-
totally
I don't
ripped
remember
all
that.
the stuff from Oblivion. Could you tell?
I don't remember that. The trees
So,
in
like-
Fallout 3.
There's a side quest, I think. Like
Yeah, it's with
you
Hall.
find like this.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like once you get into the
Talk to a
dungeon and
tree.
that, it's all like shit just ripped straight from Oblivion. They're just like, oh, we have to have a lush part. Well, we just made a game full of foresty stuff.
Yeah, it is. Like, actually, Fallout 3 has a lot of stuff ripped from Oblivion, including audio cues. Like,
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like Oblivion and Fallout 3 came out about 2.5 years apart.
sure, but
And the fact that they were
Yeah.
able to make those huge games, like I know a lot of sort of like procedural stuff goes in, and Oblivion had 6 voice actors. So
yeah.
I know that there's ways.
Skyrim
ways
had
that-
less, maybe. I don't know.
No, Skyrim.
Skyrim had
70
like,
or something. 60
yeah,
or 70.
ridiculous amount.
I'm just talking about
So
the
you've
guards.
never heard
just
them.
have the same thing that say over
No,
and over again.
yeah, there's 3 guards, but literally in Oblivion, every single
Yeah, that's true.
apart from Patrick Stewart and Sean
And
Bean,
Linda Carter.
and Linda Carter voices all
Women.
Nords,
Yeah.
all female Nords, and yeah, it's the one guy voice. Literally, the person who voices one person voices all female Khajiit and all female Argonian.
Yeah.
That
Like,
still kind of happens.
You know
in,
what? I would be okay with Oblivion's
things
voice
like
acting if everybody were Patrick Stewart and or Sean Bean.
To be honest, the actual voice acting is good. It's just that there's not enough variety to it. But
I
anyway,
remember a while ago, I just looked up YouTube and just found like Oblivion guards like saying like, I don't know what their famous saying is, like Holt, like you're under arrest or something. I don't know.
We'll fight their prisoner.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just so angry, just so upfront about it. Like, stop right there.
You're violating the law.
Yeah.
Can you tell that I've played that game for 1,000 hours?
No.
No.
Ghost.
Go see
So-
last thing.
Wait, though, I
So-
have to say, my favorite cop and RPG thing is probably Dragon's Dogma. When you break a law, like you kill someone in town or something like that, he just walks up to you really casually and just looks at you in the eye and says, "There's no point in resisting."
Wow.
And then you're in prison, and it's just over.
This is futile.
Yeah. Like,
There
oh,
is
no,
no
I-
doubt. There is only Zul.
I just came back from killing a griffin outside the city walls, but I guess just one guard. I mean,
He's a real
Fuck with him.
badass.
yeah, don't mess with him.
Yeah.
Or
There's
quit
one-
resisting.
There's one Fallout New Vegas DLC that hasn't been mentioned. I don't know if that's because you haven't played it or because there's not much to say about it. But
Actually, Lonesome Road. I have on this playthrough. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I played before, and I would say that Lonesome Road, in writing wise and design wise, is the greatest because it does. It's you really feel that one of the like most brilliant people in the industry, Chris Avalon, did this shit by himself. Like he was the guy who was writing it and telling, because it does. Like you remember how what Lonesome Road does is, first of all, it kind of deconstructs the whole idea of the blank slate character, like that's in every RPG. Like he takes the idea of the fact that you are playing some courier, and then just completely flips it on its head, because it actually gives you a backstory in that DLC. It's kind of like if you took your main character from Skyrim, the prisoner, and then actually learned why the fuck you are in prison.
Right.
And it really puts a new perspective on all of this stuff. And they also do really cool design stuff with how video games work most of the time. So you have this antagonist, and he basically plays you throughout the entire DLC, all of the DLCs. He's basically this Ulysses is kind of this big presence. When you
He's always hinted at, like at the end of every DLC, they always mention something about how the Lone Wanderer, the Courier, and I can't remember what the name they gave him before they started calling him Ulysses.
He's also the Courier, the other Courier.
Oh yeah, the two couriers,
old world Courier. And
that's right. Yeah, there was this amazing line at the end of Dead Money.
Yeah, he's buried.
It's just like
old world flag. Yeah.
They're talking about how the next time they hear the courier is when the two couriers meet underneath the banner of the old world flag in his greatest battle.
Yeah.
And that just gets you so pumped. Or at least when I remember when I first played through Dead Money.
It is.
It's just like that sounds more interesting to me than all the fucking NCR stuff.
Yeah.
I have an arch nemesis now. There's a guy.
And that dude is responsible for everything that happens in these DLCs, directly or not. He's the guy behind it. And for example, the thing that really does is that Ulysses has an advantage over you. And the thing that's weird about Lonesome Road is that A, it's very linear, like you go through section to section, and B, unlike the other three DLCs, you can leave at any point. Which is weird. Like, you can actually go out of the divide and just go do something else.
The other thing about the Lonesome Road, though, is aesthetically, it's very much like Fallout 3. It's not like the open, orangey, brown-looking thing of the Mojave Wasteland. It's very brown, green, ruins. It's like a highway system that's just completely dilapidated and destroyed.
And, and the thing about leaving is that...
What's up, Justin? What do you want to say?
Let them. I do have a question, but let them finish.
I'll say this stuff, and they kind of construct the concept of free will here and player agency, because when you finally meet Ulysses, he tells you that you have fucked up only because your curiosity has led to all of this, and then he tells you a thing that's really small, but it's also really just face-palmingly amazing in a way, because he tells you that you could have left at any point, at any moment. And then you realize, fucking, I could. Yeah, you're right. I actually could. And a lot of this stuff is done in Lonesome Road and the entirety of the DLC. So I wish this was actually Fallout 4, because fuck me.
If you guys are playing Lonesome Road, bring Edie.
Lonesome Road what?
If you're playing in Lonesome Road, bring Edie.
Yeah.
Bring Edie.
Bring Edie, the companion, because there's some stuff with her that is very helpful.
Edie or Edie?
Edie.
Like Mass Effect 3 Edie?
No, like Edie in Fallout New Vegas.
Oh.
You get a robot companion who's called Edie.
Oh,
I do have a question.
It's the iBot from Fallout 3.
Yeah.
What's up, Justin? Yeah.
Okay, I have Fallout 1 and Fallout 3, which I've completed the campaign of, but haven't completed any of the DLC of. And Fallout New Vegas, which I've played about halfway through the campaign. I think it's halfway. And none of the DLC of. and I haven't played but like 30 minutes of Fallout 1. Which one should I play this week? Stick with
I'd say go with Fallout 1. Finish
I
one.
would recommend
say
doing
New
Point
Vegas.
Lookout or finish New Vegas, because Point Lookout has a really awesome Lovecraftian style quest line in that.
Yeah.
That I'd
And
recommend
also
playing.
the Broken Steel, I think, continues the story, so that's probably important. Yeah.
Yeah, Fallout 3
If
has
you-
some really good DLC.
Yeah, both games
It's
have
not
that.
all of it. Not all of it. Like,
But it's
Operation
like-
Tanker Edge is pretty. Yeah.
I tried to play Mothership
Shit.
Zeta, and I just when I had it on 360, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to play Mothership Zeta.
Oh, Mothership Zeta is the best, man.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
like all these corridors. and I'm
dude.
like, no, way.
No. Okay, so at one point you meet up with like a samurai, and you have like a cowboy and like some marine guys from the point what is it, Operation Anchorage?
Anchorage, yeah.
Yeah. And they're all like in your posse together, right? And they meet you unthaw this samurai, and then he just starts speaking, and like it's all in Japanese, and like he's just freaking the fuck out because he has no idea what's going on. And I don't know, it's great because there's just this level of just complete absurdity. The final battle in that DLC is literally a Star Trek fight.
Yeah.
Oh god! And then you
It's-
get the alien-human hybrids that you start fighting at certain points, and then the sinister reasoning behind the giddy-up ponies, the robotic ponies that you see posters for all the time in the Capital Wasteland.
Mhm.
Play through Mothership Zeta. Like, crank it down to easy. Just run through it really fast.
Yeah, there are really tedious parts of Mothership Zeta.
There are, but like that part where the aliens show you how powerful the lasers are, or when you're walking around in space,
Yeah.
Mhm.
totally worth it.
I think the only one that isn't worth people's time is probably Anchorage.
Yeah.
Only if you want to get that really nice
Yeah, sure.
armor and that stealth
Yeah.
suit.
I mean,
Oh,
the pit is alright.
It's fun.
Pits,
I really like.
The pits,
Yeah.
the pits.
I really
know
like
what I mean?
it.
So my brother played through. He played tons of Fallout 3, and I think he played through the pit, and there's a press or something that gives him tons of minigun ammo. He has
Yeah,
like
you can
100,000
make,
minigun bullets.
Yeah.
You can make your own bullets in the pit.
Yeah,
Also,
and
you
he just-
get a laser shotgun in the pit.
yeah.
Yeah, and he just
There-
got
there was
repair all the
really-
way up, and he's invincible.
Yeah. Oh no, I definitely played the Fallout games with a high repair skill.
Yes.
'Cause that is
Gotcha.
definitely one of the ways
High
to
speed,
play that.
high repair, high energy weapons.
See, I actually played through New Vegas without energy weapons as a skill. I was more
but
into like hip.
The thing
Go ahead.
about New Vegas is that you get to level 50 by the end of that game if you have all the DLCs. If not, you get to level 30. You can go like full like regular small guns, energy weapons, and heavy weapons, and be fine. Because I did that on my first playthrough, and like I think I had 100 speech, 100 repair, 100 energy weapons, 100 small guns, 100 heavy weapons, 100. What was the other one I got 100 of? Science, 100 medicine. Mainly
Yeah.
almost completely maxed out by the end of that game.
Fallout 3 or New Vegas?
Science and Snake.
New Vegas.
Yeah, but you cannot maximize everything. Like you will
No, you
have
can't.
to.
Yeah.
You can't, but you more or less can get almost everything if you get all.
Yeah,
the
like
extra.
but I actually on my playthrough I did everything to maximize everything, and I had to leave 2 skills unmaximized. Unlike
that's-
Fallout 3, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that one of the sacrifices that you make when you make yourself proficient in all the weapons is that there's some passive thing that you're going to have to sacrifice on. So that was
Luck.
the reason why I didn't.
No, not
get-
luck. It just
I
screw
usually
it, Jill.
like small guns. I just like the
Yeah,
Agility in
Mhm.
Fallout New Vegas, agility and perception are fucking useless. So that's the stats.
Well,
I don't know. I played.
it's pretty helpful if you want to go into energy weapons, but
But no, it doesn't. But yeah, but you get so much drugs and stuff that you can really ignore it. And
Yeah.
the only real thing that's noticeable when you roll with perception is that you're gonna have less luck pick.
I don't really use the drugs that much in Fallout.
Yeah, I almost
do,
refuse
I,
to use them just to not get addicted because stim
I
packs.
mainly just use.
Dude, the
yeah.
addictions in... I have to say something. The addiction stuff in Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and the radiation stuff in 3 and New Vegas is barely noticeable.
Yeah, the
So,
radiation.
except for that one perk in Fallout 3 that lets you get mutated, that was kind of great.
Yeah.
I
But
really enjoyed.
but like like in Fallout 1 and 2, when you got radiated, it's actually a pretty big deal, because that stuff will actually hinder you. While in 3 and New Vegas, it's really the question of either eating one of the 100
Yeah.
Radexes and Radaways you get, or paying 100 caps to a fucking doctor.
Yeah, no, obviously, Radaway is an essential resource.
Yeah, I
but
usually
it's-
keep some of that around.
Yeah.
And even
It pretty
then,
much
like,
means
you
that
know,
if you have enough of it, you can deal with any situation. You're never going to actually get into a situation where it's a huge problem.
yeah. Like, which is sad, because it's a cool mechanic that's just completely gets overlooked, because
Yeah.
you never get the consequences are never dire enough for you to give a fuck.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Let's
Play
move
Fallout
on
New
from all
Vegas.
this. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but just be
Ackbar,
aware that
have
it
you
might
been-
break.
Ackbar, you playing anything this week?
I've been playing up the games like a storm, bro.
Yeah.
I only played like 2 games this week.
That's fine. What are you
No,
been playing?
3 games. I have played Minecraft, which we were talking about earlier.
What's that?
What's Minecraft? What's a Minecraft?
It's a first-person shooter where you're a space marine, and you have to fight alien religious group from you stopping to use the things called the ovals to wipe out all life in the universe.
Sounds totally original.
Yeah, it really is.
Does it have a
Really
TV show by
disappointing.
Does it have a TV show by Steven Spielberg coming in?
No, it's Guillermo del Toro.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good
Finally.
actually. I would
Yeah.
watch that.
Yeah, I'm on board.
And actually, I'd watch a Guillermo del Toro Halo series. I want to see him do something with the Flood.
I'd watch anything with Guillermo del Toro in it.
But I played Minecraft, and I got to the point that where I stopped playing Minecraft every time is when I die, and then I lose everything, and then I'm like, well, fuck this game. And then I delete it from my computer, and I will probably come back to it in 6 months. That seems to be the turnaround. Other than that, I played Year Walk, finally.
What's a year walk?
A year walk is when you don't eat anything for a day. Walk through the woods, see a bunch of Swedish mythological creatures, and then see the future. And it is probably one of the best games I've played this year. I don't know why. I absolutely love that game. I love the atmosphere of that game. I love the way the game tells its story, and I absolutely love the way that game ends.
More.
Just one of them iPad games, ain't them?
Yeah, it's one of them iOS games.
Yeah, them iPad games.
They're the casuals.
I heard
Yeah.
some things about this information operating system.
So what do you do in your walk? Exactly.
Year walk. You
You walk around?
Yeah, you walk around the woods.
For a year.
Okay. Is it a
no,
horror
no.
game or?
It's a horror game, kind of.
Okay.
So what it is?
Is that's that game that has a like companion app, right?
Yes,
Like
yes.
Dictionary
Yeah,
or whatever.
I vaguely remember Brad on the Giant Bombcast talking about this game, and it sounded crazy.
Is
Uh,
it actually scary? Or
Some parts are actually pretty creepy. There's some parts are just disturbing, and like there are parts of that game where it plays with you, and you think you're gonna get a jump scare, and then nothing will happen, and then there are moments where you're totally gonna get one, and you can feel it coming, and it just it happens. But I don't really want to spoil much about the game, because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to experience it for themselves, and I think people need to realize like kind of what makes that story great. But really, it's the whole concept of the year walk is if you don't eat for a day and you go out on New Year's Eve and walk to the church, you'll get a glimpse of the future, right? And this you're playing as there is a name to the character. I'm not going to spoil it because you'll find that out later. But you're trying to find out what's going to happen to you within the next year and the woman that you love. And then, of course, you go on the year walk, and then you run across, I think, 5 Swedish mythological creatures. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, except for the Huldra, which is like a Witch of the Wilds kind of thing. And then they have the water horse, which is pretty common in a lot of stuff around there. The Crowfather, I think, is the other one, and the Church Grim. And each one of those creatures have like a puzzle based around them in some way. It usually involves with you doing something for them or trying to find them. Because they all hold the key to the church. And it's just like fantastic kind of like almost paper-like art style, you know? The way they set it up, the way that they do a lot of the touchscreen stuff is really creative and really imaginative, and you wouldn't, like, it's really hard in places, and that you wouldn't really expect to do what you're supposed to do. You know, I don't want to... There's one where it kind of confused me for a while. When I actually had to turn the iPad upside down to solve the puzzle. Which is really cool.
That sounds pretty creative.
Do we know anything about the developers of this game?
They're probably Swedish.
They're definitely Swedish. They
Put the
released
volume a bit down.
I have 2 questions.
What's that sound in the background?
Yeah, what is it?
It's not
question
me.
Number 1.
Alright, that part has to be cut.
Yeah. This is for
Hey,
Kyle.
Nix. Yeah. So
I have 2 questions, Ackbar. I have 2 questions. First one, is it only iOS?
Yeah.
Shit. Second one. Did you try it in real life?
Yurok?
No, yeah, if you try not eating and then going to a forest to see the future.
I looked into it, and I'm really sad to say I don't think Earwalks actually exist.
Shit.
And that makes me really sad, because I actually thought about doing one.
Shit.
Because there's a church, like, literally down the road from me, and I just thought, what the hell? I don't really do anything on New Year's Eve anyways. I don't know, I'll probably still do it. Fight a goat demon. I don't really know, though. There could be an actual Yearwalk, because it's really hit or miss. Because they kind of imply that it's a lost art, so I don't know. They could just be pulling it out of their ass. I'm not Swedish. I have no knowledge of this. But
Go to the rescue!
Yeah. I would recommend playing this game in a dark room with like no noise in the background to get like the full effect out of it. Also,
Yeah.
headphones. Don't go off the speakers off the iPad.
I
Like, you
definitely
need headphones for that game.
I definitely remember Brad saying that it was a game very much enhanced by headphones.
No, it's not enhanced by headphones. You need headphones. Like some of the puzzles in that game are sound based, and you probably wouldn't be able to tell without actually.
So according to GiantBomb.com, which is a website,
Okay.
some say it's about video games.
Who?
The developers
They're
of
liars.
Earwalk is called Simogo, and their credits before the 2 main guys who started Simogo worked on indie games like R-Type, Dimensions, Load Runner, Tecmo Bowl Throwback, and Elo Milo. So
That's quite a jump.
yeah,
in terms
it sounds,
of,
but they do kind of sound like the guys who would be making sort of.
Is it Elo Milo or Ilo Milo?
Elo Milo.
I always thought it was Elo Milo.
Sounds more Hawaiian that way. That makes it better.
I like
Ilo
Ilo Milo more.
Well, we're gonna fight.
Ilo Milo.
It
It sings better, what the fuck?
Oh, fine. Seriously though, everyone play Yearwalk. The ending to that game is just absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Just
Could I conceivably watch a YouTube Let's Play of it instead? Because I don't have an iPad.
You
Yeah.
could. You'd probably be able to pull it off fine. Because it's none of that...
Sorry, it's just the problem is that it is a really kind of crappy limitation, it being only an iOS game. I mean, I have an iOS device, I have an iPod, but it looks here that it's only available on iPhone and iPad, and it really sounds like a game that's really best played on iPad.
I think you only could play that on iPad. That game is very, very touchscreen heavy.
Yeah.
I have,
Like
I
I
have,
said, it used... Go ahead.
I have an iPhone 4, but I don't
I
really like
don't think
playing
you'd want to
games
play it
on
on an iPhone. Yeah.
I always think it's a real bummer that they kind of they sort of clump games together as sort of being iPad and iPhone games when clearly these are iPad games.
Yeah, like
Most
XCOM.
games on the
they quickly
iOS are going to be
XCOM on
iPad.
iPhone.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quick. Did you not see that? The quick look, the
No, I didn't.
XCOM
Yeah,
re-release was quick looked on an iPhone. They didn't do it on an iPad.
They kind of released that over 4th of July weekend. I was going to watch it that week, and then you know what happened after that.
Yeah.
So, seriously, I think you probably get away with just watching a YouTube playthrough of this game, because really what you need to see is ending to that game.
I have to see all of the Let's Play or the walkthrough to appreciate it, or can I just see the ending?
I think you'd prefer. It'd be more impactful if you watched the entire thing, because it's 2 hours long, overall.
Oh,
Watch.
well, that's like a
what?
movie then. So
Yeah, I mean, most of these like games of that ilk, especially on iOS, tend to be fairly short.
Yeah, and that's even with me kind of getting stuck at a puzzle for like 30 minutes. So really, if someone's just like kind of cooking through it, probably an hour at most, hour 30 minutes. But if you can, before he gets to the ending, because there's 2 endings, if you can find the companion app to that, read through it. There's a part in that is more. That companion app isn't a companion app. It is another part of that game, and you need that to completely understand what's going on.
Oh
There's
my
a point
god,
where
that's a lot of stuff.
yeah, this is starting to sound like too much work. At first, I thought I just had to sit back and watch something. Now I got to read.
You gotta read at least 20 pages of stuff too. Yeah,
Dude.
That's too much.
it's all really
This game is garbage.
reading. Oh, but it's
I
all
thought
really,
this
really
was-
fascinating. It's all
I thought
really.
this was video games.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
want to read, I'll read this Philip K. Dick book sitting next to me.
Yeah, everyone, play Year Walk again. Can't stress that enough. Probably one of my favorite games I played this year. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I also really like other mythologies like that. I don't know why.
What other games did you play?
Yeah, what other games have you played?
Artemis. The
What is
spaceship-
Artemis?
The Spaceship Simulator.
Huh. Space Sims?
So
So what you do
So it's
is-
like FTL or X or what?
No. Okay, so it's more or less Star Trek. It's a role-playing game for Star Trek.
That
So what you
sounds
do
pretty
is-
awesome.
You get 5 or 6 computers together. You have a main computer that plays off the server, and you hook that up to the television.
Oh, I heard of this game.
You hook that up to a television, and
Yeah.
then that's like your main screen, that's your view or whatever, and that's your captain's view. And he just sits there and watches, and he kind of like yells out, like, give me status report on the ship, and that comes up on screen, or a front view of the ship, and then kind of shows you in space. And then you have other people who can be helms, which is in control of maneuvering and speeds. Engineering, which is in control of power impulses and everything like that. So, like, 200 to shields, 50 to warp, or something like that. Weapons officer, who shoots things in the face with lasers and missiles. Science officer, which scans. And comms unit, which kind of communicates. And the comms people don't really seem like they do anything other than request docking to space stations.
So wait, is this a multiplayer game?
Craziest-
Oh, it
It
totally
sounds-
is.
This sounds like a deeper, like, crazier space team.
Oh, it totally is. That's the whole point of it. And it's a role-playing game. You get a bunch of people together. You have one person be the captain. He kind of has to shout out orders to everyone else.
Sounds
It's awesome. It's so much fun because you
Is
just
this
sit
a
there.
LAN game? Like, there's no...
We could do it online if you want to.
Um,
So we could actually do it as a group if we wanted to.
I'm on board with this.
How much is it?
I think it's 20 or $10.
Because
But I think
at the
that-
moment,
I think it comes in
strapped.
4 parts. Yeah.
How would one acquire
you just do
game?
this...
Is it a Steam game?
No, you just go to Artemis.com. They have it for sale there.
Oh,
Just search
sounds
Artemis.
interesting.
Like, is there like a set mission like...
There
Is
are
it like-
missions, but it's like that game is so like I guess
It's
what's
just
the
for
word?
survive as long as you can, or...
Kind of, more or less. I mean, you can go on a mission if you want to, but more or less what it turns into is, I want to go this way, shoot these guys. Oh god, what's happening? Why are these people attacking the space station? Should we go help the space station? Oh, I guess. Oh no, we're dead. Why did you jump into the singularity? It's just like getting your friends together and just trying to,
Yeah, it's
It
like
more
a
or
party
less-
game, I guess.
yeah, it more or less brings out your friends' incompetence to light.
Okay, so
Especially if you're captain. Like I was captain.
That
and,
sounds great.
It's like, okay, I need 50% to warp so we can put more
Wesley,
power into.
get off the damn bridge. You piece of shit.
50%
Okay.
to warp so we can put 200 into beams, right? And then like.
okay.
And
so
then like
ju-
the weapons overfire because the engineerman forgets to put coolant into the overcharged freaking beams. So we don't have beams anymore. So we're just in a fight with 5 ships, and they're all just like wailing on us. And then and then he overcharges all of our warp and impulse drives because he forgot to turn those down earlier. So we can't move anywhere, and we're just completely defenseless, just sitting
Sounds like
here.
the worst and best game ever.
It is, and they're just sitting here. These guys are just firing things one after another at us, and it's like I'm yelling at the weapons tester, "Load a nuke! Shoot a nuke off!" And it's like I already shot our nuke.
Sounds like something you'd laugh at because you're so incredulous at how uncoordinated the whole thing is.
Exactly, and it's especially evident if you're captain, because again, like you're just sitting here yelling out orders, and everything is just falling apart all around you. Because
Okay,
like one person decided to follow your orders too directly, and then there was another person who decided, no, I'm just gonna do my own thing.
What's up, Atlas?
This sounds great. 2 things. First of all, there is a version on the iOS store. It's iOS 5 or later, and it might just be like a scaled down version. It's also $3. Second is that the PC version is currently in Steam Greenlight.
So it's not gonna get released.
Who knows, man? The whole Steam Greenlight is
They also
crazy.
there's some things in that game where it's kind of buggy. It doesn't really explain a lot what's going on most of the time. Also, from what I've heard, the iOS version is kind of buggy and laggy compared to the PC. It doesn't sync up well with the PC version.
Yeah, I'm seeing some fairly mediocre
What
comments
is it?
here.
What is it with this podcast and games with bad tutorials?
It's the theme of the week, man.
It's
We're hardcore
actually,
gamers, bitch.
Yeah. The hardest cool podcast.
again, it's not really. I think in this game's case, it isn't the tutorials fault. It's more of I just want to be a starship captain. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, and then everyone else thinking that they can just do things without reading the tutorial. And then everything blowing up in our faces as all of our weapon systems get shot down and all of our engines get destroyed. And we just kind of got to sit here after our major weapon was already shot and missed.
Okay.
But overall, awesome game. Play it with people.
We have to play it at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board with this. This is the terrible thing about Greenlight, because I was actually thinking about buying it just from the website, but then it's like, oh, if it's going to go through Greenlight, then I can get it on Steam. It's like,
There is also a multiplayer aspect to the point of where you can have 2 separate ships flying around if you want to. And, have horrible things happen there.
But
Such
like
as-
coordinating the multiplayer through Steam sounds preferable to like doing whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what happened to me with Euro Truck Simulator 2. Is like I bought it from the website, and then 2 weeks later it was on Steam, and I was like, God damn it! This is the worst.
You're gonna buy it.
Worst luck.
The
Probably
only
gotta-
thing that game needs is for comms. I want them to. I don't care if some modder does it. I don't care if it comes out of the game itself. I want someone to make a thing, or if I open up comms with someone, I want a screen to come on up and have some really bad polygonal alien talking to me for a few seconds, and I can just yell things at it.
Yeah, this should be like integrated into Star Trek Online.
Yes.
Yeah, it should.
Oh God, yes.
Hell, that just
Did
a
you-
Star Trek branded this would be incredible.
Yeah. Just make this Star Trek Online.
Yeah, just Star Trek Artemis.
Yeah.
Exact same game.
Yeah.
Maybe with bug fixes.
Oh, that would be ultimate MMO, wouldn't it? Just thinking about it, like instead of just being the captain of your own ship, like you go on and say, I want to be a science officer in Starfleet, and then you get assigned to someone else's ship. You don't even know the person. There's a potential you won't even know him, and he'll be your captain. You have to do everything he says.
Assignments are the prerogative of the Space Corps.
And then you lose because your engineer didn't poop sock correctly.
Yeah. Or your engineer brought you out of warp right next to a sun.
Or a black hole or something.
That sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome.
And you can do that in Artemis. Like
As long as the captain says #1 all the time, I'm down with this.
Okay. I was really pissed off that my engineer didn't yell, I'm giving it all she's got, Captain, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
It's
we
an
were...
opportunity.
There's a jump drive and then there's a warp drive, and it goes up to warp factor 4, and then you could do warp factor 4 at 300%, which will just like going like blinding speeds, and then you have a jump drive, and jump drives suck, especially because because the thing is the Helms officer can set their display for a warp drive when our ship has a jump drive, so he has warp controls when we're jumping. If that makes sense.
Sure.
So he can coordinate where we're going. I don't know. Anyways, all to say is we jumped literally right into the middle of 7 enemy vessels.
Awesome.
Also, there's space whales in that game.
Space whales.
Space whales.
Sold.
Yeah, give it
Where
a
can I
couple years.
buy this online game? Just give it to me.
And if you kill the space whales, they make whale cries.
Nice.
We killed the whales.
Yeah.
Fuck space whales.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Prerogative.
I'd love to play with you guys.
Yeah. Play that.
Other than that, the only thing I've done video game related is I went to a convention last night. I went to an anime convention last night. More
No,
specifically.
wow. If I didn't care the last time you said, now I don't care.
Yeah, that was the first experience for me. I just want to say
This your first convention?
this is my first convention ever.
Okay.
What other first things happened?
Well, I had my first kiss.
Oh,
Oh.
No.
Alright.
What happened
fucking
was I went to meet a friend who was there, and she said, "Is this girl I liked?" Okay, right? I'm talking to her,
Oh.
and she's just all like, "Hey, yeah, meet me at the fire show at 10 o'clock." It's like, "Yeah, okay, I can be there at 10 o'clock. I can be at the fire show, right?" I'm all excited, and then I found out when she said, "Meet me at the fire show," she meant because I'm in the fire show, not because I want to hang out with you, but because I want you to watch me doing things in the fire show. And I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Fuck this shit. Fuck fire.
Yeah, no, fuck fire.
kids don't fuck fire.
Fuck fire.
Yeah, no, that's
That'll-
really
Don't
that'll
put
hurt.
your genitals into fire because
Fuck fire.
no.
Fuck
Never,
fire.
man. It's the only way I can feel anything anymore.
Exactly. Tie your balls in a rope. Hang yourself upside down, and then light your balls on fire. It's the best way to get off. I promise you.
Yeah, but then you'll have to
Also,
push
have your
the
girlfriend strangle you at the same time.
I have somewhere a GIF, an animated GIF of a guy setting his balls on fire.
I saw a few cosplays of that while I was there.
The first thought that came into my mind was to ask the question why, but then I wasn't sure whether I was asking you why he set his balls on fire or why you have a gif of it.
Both are very good
Well, 'cause
questions.
He gets off.
I guess
Obvious- He gets off on it. Number
Yeah.
one.
Like I
Number
needed
two.
an instructional video.
so.
I want to know what
Video
you know,
games.
what angle I should like grab my dick and have the balls hang a little bit lower. You know.
And you need to know where to light them on fire. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. The exact
that's
spot.
the most
because, you
dangerous
know,
thing. Yeah.
Like I don't want to burn my balls like too much or anything.
Yeah.
Just
or you
the
don't
right
want to
amount.
burn them not enough. You know.
Yeah, just the right amount. I don't want them
Just
to be.
medium rare balls.
I don't want
Yeah.
them to be. I don't want my balls to be half done.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
No
exactly.
half measures.
I want half baked.
Go big or go home.
I like my balls medium rare.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas forever.
I like. The one thing I got out of this convention is I simultaneously hate everyone and I love everyone at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah,
wasn't it
that
an
sounds like
anime
conventions to
convention?
me.
Oh.
I had to step
Yeah,
out
'cause
for a
you-
minute. What wasn't it an anime convention?
Oh, totally was an anime convention. But yeah, there's people walking around as the Lisettes from Bioshock Infinite, and I was really stoked about that because they even did the chalkboard with the extra 100 things on the back of them.
Fantastic.
And I'm like, you're fucking awesome.
So are
And then
there?
there's like
Yeah, anime.
the guy dressed in the fucking schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
The guy, and it's
So is
or
there
the girl
more?
in the I'm sorry, go on.
Is there more than just anime at an anime convention? Because you mentioned like, Bioshock Infinite stuff.
Well, there are people like
course,
there's
it's a
1,000
constant
people
thing.
dressed up
Isn't it
as
interesting?
Deadpool.
Yeah, like
Because-
there are there are hundreds of people dressed up as Samus at Comic-Con. Like, none of this stuff is an island unto itself anymore. They've all
No.
Kind of merged in, yeah.
Well,
This-
I mean, there's a lot of
There was like
overlap in all of it.
There was like 1,000 people dressed up as Doctor Who. You know.
Oh my god, it's like the laziest costume you can ever have.
It is!
It's
Except
like
this one
way your
guy.
grandparents' wardrobe.
I got a
is
scarf
fucking-
and an old hat.
Yeah.
There's this one guy, I will give credit. He did the 10th Doctor hair. He went out of his way to get the hair in that really weird anime-looking poof. And he actually bought a trench coat. So bravo to him. He did a good job.
Someone
Whatever.
just dressed up as a Tartarus and then
There was a girl dressed up as a TARDIS. There literally was a girl dressed up as a TARDIS.
that's.
Would you fuck a
I
TARDIS?
appreciate that.
She was actually pretty hot because all it was just a really scantily clad, like, tight shirt on her with no bra. And then she had a little police box thing on her head.
Give me a few seconds.
This new character now.
There was like a bunch of weeping angels that were really cool. There was Phoenix Wright, and he was awesome because he was carrying around a giant sign that said "Objection."
Oh my god.
Was
And
it carried
I-
around as was it like a speech bubble?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Okay, other than
And
the
then him-
schoolgirls, were there
him and I. Go on.
or other than the schoolgirls, were there any people cosplaying anime at this anime convention?
Oh god, yeah, probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There could have been. I don't really.
Am I the only one
well,
on this podcast right now who knows anything about anime at all?
Yeah, I know some things about
There
anime.
was a guy dressed as Master Roshi, and he shaved his hair, shaved his head bald for it, and he wore a Hawaiian shirt, and that was cool. There's also a girl dressed as Chie,
Awesome.
and then I went to the bathroom and jacked off for a little bit after I saw that, obviously.
Great.
That's
Proper
but-
member of Giant Bomb.
Yeah, exactly. And then I yelled, "I love
And
you,
then-
Chie."
And then you did the Sims gang sign.
Yeah, she totally got it. I mean, she ran away, but obviously that meant to like go tell her friends that she found someone really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
and guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, I cosplayed.
As what? I mean, you don't have to be afraid here. It's like Ryan
Yeah.
Black is not here.
Like
The bigot of
You're in
cosplay
a-
is here.
You're in a safe environment. We're all
Yeah.
friends.
He's sleeping right now.
Well, guys,
I will
just-
not wake the big bear.
I
Yeah.
cosplayed as Rorschach
Okay, that's pretty cool.
on
So-
vacation.
Wait.
What does that mean? What is that? What?
Rorschach on vacation. I had a Rorschach mask, and I put sunglasses on it, and I wore a Hawaiian shirt with a Ron John Surf Shop shirt underneath, and I wore shorts, and sandals.
Oh my god.
Do you take pictures or something?
Yeah.
I must see these pictures.
And I went around and I went to people, Rorschach's Journal. Hung 10 today. Had a pretty good sandwich at the store. Best vacation ever. Street Rakes, 1984.
That's a pretty okay Jackie Early Halley impression.
Yeah.
Saw dead dog in alleyway.
Rorschach's Journal.
Probably died from too big of a binger. Not me though.
Rorschach's Journal. The tits on that lady were pretty hot.
Rorschach's Journal. Dead ass.
Rorschach's Journal. I drank way too much last night. I think I left Night Owl at the club. I really shouldn't have driven home.
Oh god.
What am I doing with my life? All I do is party.
That Rorschach in general. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's like Rorschach's character distilled, really.
Not really,
Swag.
because you used you didn't talk terse enough, and you used I. You used like pronouns and shit. Like you shouldn't.
Well, yeah, Well, you know, I'm walking around a convention with a bunch of people in like no clothes whatsoever. Alright. What do you expect me to do? You know, I'm not gonna go like super out of my. Because there was an actual guy who was like Rorschach, and he was going all full hog. You know, I'm Rorschach on vacation. He's laid back. You know, he doesn't need to worry about
He
it.
doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just here to party. He's just here to swag.
How did the real Rorschach take it?
the real Rorschach just kind of looked at me for a second, and then he walked away.
He was really disgusted with you, probably.
He probably was really pissed off at me. I also had a better match than he did.
I'm having this cool thing, and he's having fun. Like,
Yes, I spent like $700 on this trench coat, this hat, and this guy's just going around wearing a
He didn't
Hawaiian
spend
shirt.
$700. He already had that trench coat.
Yeah, totally did.
he's a pedophile.
That's why we're Rorschach mask.
On the point.
So so he had just had it.
Um,
I can no longer visit school, so I guess I can use this.
Go to anime conventions.
go to anime.
That's almost the same.
But it was just really weird in some strange way. I
Oh
guess.
my god, we're never gonna get news.
Anime.
Fucking
Anime's weird, but I went to a rave afterwards.
With the same,
that would
like
be
the same
fine.
anime people, or
Yes, the same anime people, but they were all raveded up.
Or
And there
just
was,
lying.
it was really. I think. Okay,
I think I
so,
was at the rave. I don't know.
do you guys watch Adventure Time?
I do.
No.
Yeah.
I've never
I
seen
don't.
a single episode of Adventure Time.
You
I
should
watched
rectify
it.
that.
So the rave was Adventure Time themed,
Ugh.
and they had two girls in like scantily clad clothing, wearing like the headband from the main character from Adventure Time, dancing around, and the DJ was wearing the dog as a shirt, right?
Yeah.
And that was really weird. Now, and I'm not sure about this. I don't know if there's true or not. What's the name of the computer on Computer Time? Adventure Time, Ghost.
B. It starts with a B, I know.
Something with.
Bobbit or.
I
Yeah.
think the voice actress there was singing rave music to us. I'm not sure.
How do you?
So like this. Okay, so they had like tour songs on. That was just this guy, and he was just doing his DJ thing by himself. Okay, right.
Emo is the name.
And then the computer shows up on screen, and she says some things, and then it comes out, and this lady is saying the things. I think. I don't know. She might have been the rave singer, and I was really confused, and it was really weird for me. Even though I've never watched the show in my entire life, it's like here's this children's television, potential children's television voice actress singing.
That
like,
show's not for children. I don't know. That's a weird show.
okay, all right.
what is so great about Adventure Time? Is it like My Little Pony, or I
No,
don't know what it is.
No, no.
There were quite
It's
a
such
few
a weird
weird
show.
too.
It goes to different places that you'd never expect.
Mhm.
It's saying
I watched,
that right.
I watched
Weird.
Freakazoid last night, so I'm not completely, adverse to watching something like that. But
It's even weirder.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't
it's
know.
like-
I don't think you can get much weirder than Freakazoid.
It is, dude. It really is. Like you should watch.
it goes to some places that.
I know there's
you
like
don't
a nuclear
expect.
Holocaust stuff
Basically,
in
as
it.
if you watched like a children's show but do it on like LSD, and then make another children's show on more acid. Like that's basically it.
To
that's
that, I
Patty and
say
Stocking
everybody.
with Garter Belt.
To that, I say everybody needs to look up the Magic Roundabout.
Like it's not like for adults like Venture Bros, but it's really
Mhm.
close to. It's really
Okay.
for kids.
I was gonna say that like
Kids will have fun, but they will
chil-
not get half the jokes.
I
Yeah,
was gonna
they
say
won't
like a
understand
children's
what's going on.
cartoon with Never mind. Y'all don't know anime, so I was gonna say there's an anime called Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, which is
Yeah, I know.
essentially Powerpuff Girls.
I know about that.
Yeah, but that's for
Yeah.
the gay next. So what the fuck you expect?
There are people dressed up like that there.
Probably.
Yeah. There was people dressed up as Cloud and Lightning too.
Well,
That's
again,
a shock.
of course.
At the rave, I danced with a girl dressed as the Scout from Team Fortress 2. I was gonna bonk her, if you know what I'm saying. Get it?
Anyway,
Get it, guys?
anybody else
Get
playing
it?
those? Yeah.
Guys,
We get
it.
No,
It's
Anybody
the
else
famous
playing anything
catchphrase.
else?
It's
What
the famous
was-
catchphrase from the Scout, and I'm applying it to sex.
Yeah, we get it.
Get
Oh,
it?
it's like the energy drink.
No, no. In Team Fortress 2, when you hit someone with in your Scout, he says bonk.
I've never seen
Oh, like the video
What?
game.
hard for a pump.
Like the video game? Video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
Bonk
video game.
3D. Video
Bonks.
games.
The
Atlas,
Adventures Monk.
yeah,
Monk
you
64.
played.
Yeah, I played some
Yeah.
stuff, and Atlas played some stuff.
Let's try to get as fast as possible because we're going a bit too long, but whatever.
I want to talk about Phil
sorry.
Fish.
Yeah.
Looks
Atlas,
like Phil Fish is reeling in trouble, isn't he?
Yeah.
Save it for
his
later.
fish is cooked.
Yeah.
What you been playing, Atlas?
I've mostly been playing Animal Crossing on my 3DS.
Oh yeah, you have.
So, you want to talk
You're
about
Tom
a game?
Looks bitch, aren't you?
I beg your
Aren't you,
pardon?
Atlas? Yeah, Tom looks bitch, right?
What?
I think we all are, really.
Yeah.
Not me.
You got suckered in to the
I
Animal Crossing.
I just got my house extended, and I have a loan that I need to pay back of 196,000 bells. So I have got some bugs to collect. Yeah, I mean, Animal Crossing is one of those games that is. They really picked the perfect time to release this game. This is a great summer game.
Yeah,
This is like
it is
a real like chill experience. Like, yeah, it's kind of a game that's a lot more than the sum of its parts. Because on the face of it, like all the sort of the base mechanics of it, like there's nothing that sort of like genius about it, or there's nothing like that. There's a lot of janky shit and a lot of limitations that you bump up against, but it all just comes together to make this just really like charming and engaging experience that I'm enjoying my time with. But yeah, I do feel myself pushing up against some of its arbitrary limits a little bit more than I like, but then I still can't, I can't help but just spend time with it. Like it's just like 2 or 3 times a day. I gotta get those bells, man. I gotta get them fish.
Yeah, you gotta get those bells, man.
So yesterday was the first time I went to the tropical island, which I was excited about, because that means that I can get. They were selling one of the seeds for one of the tropical plants, so I was able to take that back, and then hopefully that's going to start producing fruit that I can then turn into. It was weird. I was confused because like normally fruit can just be planted in the ground to make trees. But then I came back to my island with a bunch of mangoes and a bunch of coconuts, and then couldn't put them in the ground and have them seed.
What do you mean?
I'm just gonna say, up until the point where you started saying like I took some stuff back to the island and I couldn't put it back in the ground, you could have replaced all of that with weed and marijuana in some way.
That's fair. That's a fair. Yeah, Animal Crossing is basically Breaking Bad.
Animal Crossing basically a drug.
Yeah, drug dealer.
Yeah.
Fruit. I gotta get that fruit.
Yeah, gotta get this fish. Sell to Tom Nook, who's a mafia boss, obviously.
Yeah. This fish.
So, Alice, have you gone... Do you know the secret of the island?
I'm not sure that I do know the secret of
Do
the
you
island.
know the dark, horrifying secret of the island?
Please tell, I'm all ears.
You're the Fallout.
The island is the way you make money. Stop getting fruit, stop fishing. You have to go to the island.
Oh no, I'm fully aware that like the last time I spent my last session on the island, I did 4 of the tours, and I actually spent there are tours that like put you on a place where there aren't that many actual resources, and then there are some of the tours that like there's the bug hunting tour, which not only like do you you get points for, it's basically a contest, so like catch all these bugs and you get these these medals or whatever, and you can
mini games basically.
Yeah, but the thing is that a lot of those islands also have fruit on them. So even though I stripped, like the actual island itself is tiny. Like it's got like 4 regular trees and then a bunch of palm trees that each have 2 coconuts on them. But a lot of these islands are just full of mangoes and various other types of fruit, which you can then take back and sell. So yeah, I've recently discovered the island, but I'm definitely seeing
That's not the secret of the island. You know
okay.
that little island you get out of? The little island that you go into? It has like when you get out, there's like a small island, like you said.
Yeah.
That's where the most expensive bugs and fish are. You have to catch them if you want to make money.
Really? Because I felt like I was on that island, I was seeing a lot of bugs that were similar to the bugs that were on my island.
No, in the tropical trees, there's a golden stag. That's the most expensive item in the game. The most expensive bug in the game. You have to get it.
I should do some investigating.
Yeah, you have to look around the internet because that's the way to make money besides
Oh,
turnips. Yeah, stop selling fruits. Stop doing that. You have to go to the island. You have to
Today
take
Stop fucking around. Get your shit together.
Yeah,
Go.
I'm clearly dropping the ball.
Get
on
your
this.
ass to the island.
Yeah.
Today was the first time I got to meet the turnip vendor, so I'm now been exposed to that economy
Yeah. The
of
the stock
Valley.
market. Get it?
Yeah.
Stock
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
What?
So the whole thing about that is the crazy thing is that, usually a place won't sell them any higher unless you get really lucky, but you have to go to different people's towns
Oh,
to see
that
the
sucks.
rates. That
That's
the
kind
turnips.
of a bump. Because
we should exchange for yes codes, because
yeah. To be honest, we should because I haven't been to anyone else's island. I have been,
yeah, me neither.
I have been an island unto myself in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, we should go to each other's houses and see how terrible they are. Because my house is just such a mess.
My house is awesome. I have plate armor. I have a fine saucer. I have a guitar that I got from a fox who's pink. I was excited about that.
I basically get all the Nintendo stuff, just put it everywhere, and think it looks cool. That's it.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that much Nintendo stuff.
Oh my god, my room has so much Nintendo stuff.
But it's not like the old games where you could actually
Because
play.
you
the
had
game.
an uncle at Nintendo, Phatmac. Like, don't flaunt that shit.
Okay. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it sucks that they don't have the games anymore, the emulated games. That Nintendo wants to just make money on those things, I guess.
Which is fair enough. I mean, it would be better if like they could make their whole like 3DS store and their whole virtual console thing not suck less.
Yeah, I want to have an arcade in my house. So.
Totally, man. Yeah, like dropping the ball on that one in a lot of ways. But yeah, that game's fun. I don't have a huge amount to say about it. I'm obviously playing it wrong, but this can be rectified.
Yeah, I'll teach you once I visit you, and I'll show you the dark ways of the island.
Yes, impart all your Animal Crossing knowledge onto me, because that game is fun, and I will continue to play it. The other main thing I've been playing is this game on Steam called Defender's Quest: Valley of the Forgotten, which I first found about, I think, on a PC Gamer article from a few months ago. So basically what this game is it's tower defense, but you don't actually have towers. The thing that you have instead of towers is units. So it's kind of like introduces some like RPG light, like very, very basic like mechanics where over time your towers become it's persistent. Like most tower defense games, you don't have any holdover between like the maps. Like you don't really have anything that persists from map to map, despite the fact that you can gain access to new towers, but you're not like if you level up a level 3 tower, or like in Plants vs Zombies, if you upgraded like a pea shooter, a repeater to the machine gun one that fires 4. You can't then bring that into a new mission. Whereas this does mean you can actually like the units persist over, so that they gain experience, and that makes them more badass. So it is a game that you can sort of grind to success in that extent, in that you can gain resources that are also persistent based on success in the missions. And I have to say, I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. I mean, one of the main things I have to say about it is that it has a story that is kind of, I don't know, they clearly spent some time on it, and there's like some good writing there, but it doesn't need to be there. Like,
is it like what? Is it medieval or like what is it?
Yeah, it's sort of a medieval like sort of magic and sorcery and swords and and demons and crazy shit, and like it's sort of it ties it all together, and it sort of gets you from one encounter to the other, but it's like I'm really not getting anything out of the story that they're trying to tell, and it really just makes me feel like
you're just sitting here for the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely a place for good storytelling in video games, and that is something that I would definitely encourage there to be more of. At the same time, I don't think there has to be story in every single game. And kind of for me, like tower defense games are like the epitome of just like mechanics above actual like sort of like driving narrative.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes a little bit more sense for there to be narrative in a game where you actually have persistent units and named characters. At the same,
The plot of a game should be functional to its gameplay.
yeah, which it kind of isn't. In a way, it makes more sense to have a story in Defender's Quest than there would be to have like a story in a tower defense game like Defense Grid: The Awakening, which has some, which to be fair has some really fun dialogue, and it has some humor to it, and the Portal 2 expansion is pretty great. But to be honest, I actually sort of skim read a lot of the text in this game. But I spend most of the time just like I've got headphones on. I'm listening to music. It's been my sort of my chill, like with a podcast or with music. It's sort of filled the same role that Magic the Gathering 2014 was filling in that regard. And I actually really like the mechanics of it. I think like the tower defense mechanics is totally solid. You've got a nice, like, you don't have a huge variety of units in something like Plants vs Zombies where you've literally got dozens of different plants to choose from. There's only 6 basic units, but because you can upgrade them, you can take them down different paths. So there is actually some flexibility to it, and I just think that the core design of it is really cool. So I got it for cheap on the Steam sale. Like, I don't think that I think for the price it's a perfect little thing. I'm not sure if I'll ever touch it again once I beat the story or whatever, or get as much out of it as I sort of can from sort of one playthrough or whatever. But I'm definitely having fun with it. It's fairly inconsequential, but it's just, if you like tower defense games, it's a cool one. It's got a sort of cartoony art style, which I guess is okay. I'm not hella into it, but it's got some good monster design, and I just think it's a cool game that I would recommend to anybody who likes tower defense games. Definitely.
So I probably won't play it then.
You're not a tower defense guy?
Nah, I like Plants vs Zombies and the concept of tower defense, but I'm not really down with most tower defense games.
Yeah, I've never really enjoyed tower defense. The little bit I've played of like demos occasionally, like Trenched or Iron Brigade or whatever you want to call it. I played the demo of that, and I was like, whatever. I didn't want to play any more of it.
That's a shame.
There's a whole sub-genre now of, I suppose you could call them like action tower defense, in that you're actually controlling a main character. Stuff like
those games I like a lot.
Like stuff like Sanctum and Orcs Must Die. And I really don't like those games in comparison to basic, because the thing that I really like about tower defense games is how passive they are. It's how that you just have waves of guys, and like as long as you can build your defenses, like it's kind of just like a mellow thing. Like it's fairly low key, like not high intensity. Like one of the great things about Defense Grid: The Awakening is that you can rewind encounters, so you don't. If you fuck something up, you don't have to go right back to the start of the mission. You can just like rewind like some sort of like 5 waves ago, and so you can just sort of just sort of work it out, but sort of trial and error. And for Defender's Quest, it's like it's fairly passive. Like you can turn the speed up, because a lot of these games like move really slowly in their basic form, and then you can just turn up the speed, which makes them go much quicker. Which, to be honest, there should just be a button. Like one of the worst things about Defense Grid: The Awakening is you actually have to hold down the F key, which is stupid. Like that.
I guess that whole like staying in one place and shooting things is what I don't like. I don't feel like I'm progressing much.
Yeah, you don't really feel like you have a role, just this sort of god thing that just looks up upon this battlefield and just decides on,
Yeah, like one man back up against his wall. It's cool. Like it's a cool thing to put in the middle of a story-based game. One man back up against the wall, desperate. It's a really good climax. I don't feel like I don't want to play a full game like that though. But that's just me.
That's fair.
I get you.
In a way, I kind of see it like, if you want to get into like play strategy games but don't like the intensity of something like an RTS, and
Sure.
a lot of them aren't like sort of like deep in systems as a lot of turn-based games are. So it's kind of a happy, and yeah, there is like. Go ahead.
It's a little bit off topic. You said that like a strategy game, but you know you're actually down there building stuff. What was that GameCube game where it was based off a DS strategy series?
Advance Wars.
It was. I think that was the series it was based off of, and it was a GameCube game. And you did strategy from like you had strategy, but you could take control of a regular trooper, and I forgot the name of it. It started with the B. It was Battle something.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, so I can't help you there.
I figured somebody here would know, which is why I wanted to bring it up. And you said that, and I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be stuck.
I'll look it up. What else did you play, Atlas?
I played the first 45 minutes or so of Hotline Miami just to sort of get a feel for that game. And yes, I know that there are some people who think very, very fondly of Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have only very just sort of I've only just very sort of loose.
It was
scratched
Battalion
the
Wars.
surface. It was what? Sorry.
Battalion what?
Battalion Wars. I forgot. Okay, never mind. Move on.
Move on.
I don't know. I kind of. It's okay.
Don't break my heart, Atlas.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't know. I don't like the core like combat puzzle that much. Like I feel like it brings on just an awful lot of just dumb trial and error. I don't think it's very hugely satisfying. I will say one thing, which is that I'm playing it with mouse and keyboard, which I'm not sure. Like they do have an option for controller support in there. So if people think that game is best played with a controller, then I'll certainly try that. But yeah, I think it's got really good atmosphere, and I like a lot of the things about it. I'm on record as not being particularly fond of the music. I think that's
What?
yeah.
Wait. What?
That's the same thing I did, you guys. The same thing when I heard it.
Yeah.
Like the same thing is my exact reaction.
I think the problem was
No.
You're gonna get lynched
no,
right now.
But you've only played 45 minutes of it. You might need to play more.
I can't.
But
There's
I heard plenty of the music just from like watching there was a whole TNT where they played a lot of Hotline Miami while they were also playing Forza Horizon, and I was just like, I really just wanted them to play Forza Horizon because I sort of didn't really like this just dumb repetitive electronic music that I don't know.
That's what Forza Horizon is dumb repetitive electronic music.
Yeah.
Except there's like a crappy pop singer singing over it.
Yeah.
I
think it works pretty well.
I don't love Forza Horizon as much as I love other games in the Forza series. What I will say,
Jesus, Atlas, you're just oh my god.
All over the place today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Making enemies.
What happened, man?
what I will say is that in the actual context of all right, let me lay my cards out on the table. The biggest problem with Hotline Miami's soundtrack is that everybody likes it more than I do. Like the problem is that.
So you're saying you're a hipster?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm saying that there is a part of me that is still really, really mad that game, at several publications, but especially at Giant Bomb, beat Journey for best music. Like, that offends me. Because the music in Journey is sublime.
I think if somebody else's opinion offends you, then there's something a little bit wrong. I mean, you can... I do believe that Journey's soundtrack is better.
I think anyone can agree on that.
Most anything.
The point I'm going to make is that I'll never listen to Journey. I'll never listen to Journey's music outside of the game, but I'll listen to Hotline Miami.
I will.
I'll listen to Hypothesis every once in a while because that's just an amazing song.
Yeah, but
but I also listen to orchestral music regularly.
I've driven crazy with Hotline Miami music. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Also, giving a fuck about Game of the Year awards.
Yeah.
Alice,
You shouldn't do it.
You know.
Don't be a hipster.
Yeah.
You're like at 5. You're at like 10% hipster right now.
Just like what you like. Just whatever. Fuck everyone else. Just like what you like.
Unless you don't like the soundtrack, because then like
Yeah. Except
You
that.
probably
Except
just
that.
die. I don't know. I
exactly.
don't know what's the appropriate reaction.
Anyway,
we killed him.
I think
Or
he-
we should lock. Maybe we should lock Atlas in a room where we're just constantly playing the Hotline Miami music.
No, not
Yeah,
not the
War
entire
Tactics is
soundtrack.
terrible.
Just Hydrogen, because that's the
Atlas,
best.
are you still there?
I don't know.
These
Vengeance
assholes
is pretty
getting-
incredible.
Oh my god, it is.
Just all of them. It's incredible.
I like at some point Hotline Miami is really just like an album.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a game in there, but really, like a lot of people just kind of got that soundtrack.
I don't know. Just
Like-
the violence in Hotline Miami combined with that music was just.
No, yeah,
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, like,
I
oh
guess
my
it's
God.
kind of like Journey is just a big moving painting almost.
Journey would have been awesome, but Journey wouldn't have been as good with the music, and I think Hotline Miami kind of falls in suit. You know.
That's what I mean. Like you said, Hotline Miami is just the soundtrack, and I just say that
I love Journey soundtrack.
painting.
Yeah.
I
It's not
don't
really
think.
the soundtrack. Like I would make a case that Hotline Miami works. If it didn't have the soundtrack, it would still work as a game. I would still have
It
fun.
would still work as a game, but it'd be fun.
But it wouldn't
I
be as
think-
memorable for sure.
It wouldn't be as
that
memorable, but
music
it would still be fun.
Yeah,
and shit.
It's
Like,
a good game overall. But
yeah,
the
it's
music
good
makes it-
design. It's good design. Like
And I think it's the same way with Journey. Is that the ending of that game probably wouldn't have felt as good without those like amazing swells that were playing during that moment.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
That's
That is
what
true.
made that game I was still thinking the game was great up to that point, but then the ending where you're just flying all along there, like my mouth
spoilers.
was whatever. You
Spoilers
need to
for
play
Journey.
Journey. Just
Guys,
saying that you're flying along isn't
you're not
gonna.
actually on the mountain. That's a visual representation of heaven.
I know,
Spoilers.
but you need to play Journey. It's a
It's my
visual
favorite
thing
part.
more than anything else, and it's
You
just,
and your friend died on the mountain. Probably of hypothermia and lack of food.
all right.
They don't eat food.
Did anybody else?
What are they?
Because I want to talk about.
They
Half-Life.
can't eat food.
Who's they? What are they?
The things that are in Journey.
They don't have any arms.
Yeah. They can't eat.
Now let's talk about something quick.
I kind of wanted to talk about Half-Life, unless anybody's got anything else. Half-Life and
Half-Life
Donkey
1 or
Kong
2?
Country. 1, Half-Life Source, actually.
I am on board with Donkey Kong Country.
Okay,
It's on like.
I played
It's on like
Donkey.
Donkey Kong.
I played Donkey Kong
You
Country.
can't say that. Nintendo's gonna
Returns.
break our legs.
It's on like Donkey Kong. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Reggie's
And then your
gonna
legs
bust open.
suddenly explode because Nintendo heard you.
Copyrighted it.
I played Donkey
So
Kong
what's
Country
going on this
Returns
version? Yeah.
I played it
the
on the-
Wii version.
I played
Okay.
the 3DS version because
Ah.
I really dislike the Wii. Also because I had $30 from buying Fire Emblem and SMT4, and that really, knocked the price down a whole lot. It's, as far as a nostalgia trip, it's pretty good. Right down to the Minecraft levels that taught young kids to curse so well way back in the SNES days.
Yeah.
Like the music is almost all remixes of old stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then you remember those
Yeah.
old levels. The game itself, it's a really good game. It's not as good. I'd say it's better than the first and third Donkey Kongs, but Donkey Kong Country 2 was just such a high for that series.
Yeah,
I don't think. Not being as good as that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but
No.
it's still fun. It's still a lot of fun. It's the controls
How's
sticks you get
the-
used to.
Yeah.
What?
How is the frame rate? Is my big question. Like.
I heard some people say that the frame rate was bad. It certainly isn't. It's certainly not as smooth as it could be, but it's not. It's never been a problem. And I'm somebody who will turn off every setting and lower the resolution completely to keep 60 frames per second. So frame rate is usually a big thing for me. It's not a problem here. If you want to play Donkey Kong Country Returns on a 3DS, it's fine. I wish there were less minecart levels and less those
Yeah.
rocket levels.
I appreciate their balls and putting that in still, but yeah, it's a bit tough.
One minecart level, one or two, that are really short and really easy would have fit perfectly fine. But they put the minecart levels in there, and they put these rocket levels in there where the screen is automatically scrolling, and you have to keep pushing A to make the rocket go back up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
And those levels suck, plain and simple.
Yeah, feels like a phone game at some point.
Yeah, like I think in the original Donkey Kong Country and in the second one, there were only 2 different worlds that had a handful of minecart levels each. In this one, every single world has at least 1 minecart level, and the one I just passed had 2 or 3, as well as 2 or 3 rocket levels. And the boss was also a minecart level. And I got to the point where I really, really didn't want to play. I was considering just not playing anymore. I powered through, and then I played some of the next world, and it seems pretty, back up to par. But the game is just mostly really, really good. If you like Donkey Kong Country, you owe it to yourself to play it.
I don't know if there's anything like big added to the 3DS version because you haven't played the Wii version.
Yeah, and the screen
I don't
size.
know.
I'm playing on an XL, so the screen size isn't a problem there. But if you're playing on a regular 3DS, it might be.
Yeah. I don't know. The biggest problem with the Wii version was that to roll, I believe, you had to shake the Wii remote, so that really kind of caused some trouble with me early on. But
yeah,
I believe the 3DS version has a. What's up?
So Donkey Kong Country 2, I played some of that a few weeks ago, and I played through the entire thing last year. That game still holds up, by the way, perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
When you roll in those games, like say there's a line of enemies that you can kill with a roll, and if you roll, you hit the first enemy, and it restarts the roll. So you're continually rolling throughout the entire line of enemies. In this one, it doesn't restart, so you have to keep mashing the button, and that's screwed me up several times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a solid game, and a 3DS version. Is there anything noticeably new that they added in? I think they added an easy mode or something
Okay, I guess this is a bit of a shame. I picked the new mode instead of the normal one. You know what? I've played enough platformers in my day to know that I'm good at them. I was mostly playing this as a nostalgia trip, and
for the story, or
not for the story. I just, as a nostalgia thing. The whole thing is a big callback to the old ones, and that's what I wanted. And so I just picked the easier one, and I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. Besides, most of my deaths come from falling or doing something wrong instead of hitting enemies. So I just don't think that it would have made much of a difference between my deaths if I would have gone to normal.
Yeah, but it's a tough game. How far are you into it? What world are you in? Or
I passed the caves, which I think is 3 or 4, maybe 5.
Yeah,
I'm fairly far in there.
Yeah. The easy mode's probably better because the last couple of levels just really difficult. Some tough platforming for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite platformers in a long while. Just the mechanics and level and the look of it. I especially love the silhouette, red tie levels that are really makes it look much better than it actually looks. Very artistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks really good on the 3DS. I know Patrick in the quick look said that it looked kind of flat or scaled down. Well, of course it looks flat and scaled down, but aesthetically it looks great.
Alright, that's a solid version of Donkey Kong Country, which is it's pretty good. So you've played some Half-Life, have you?
Yeah, I have
no life.
Played Half-Life Source. Well, I've heard some people badmouth Half-Life Source because the only thing that's different is that it's clearer. The resolution natively supports 1920 1080.
Oh my god.
What? I can say too.
Wait, no. Technically, Half-Life Source is... When was Half-Life Source released?
2003.
Right after Half-Life 2?
No, Half-Life 2 is late 2004.
2004.
Oh well. Shit.
Half-Life Source, I think people were expecting Half-Life Source to be like a complete graphical overhaul or something to make it look as good or almost as good as Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Well, yeah, it was 4 years after that, so that kind of makes some sense.
I mean, if you want to get that, you can download Black Mesa.
Yep.
Yeah.
First half of it that just came out after 7 years of development.
And that was an independent thing.
It wasn't
yeah.
bad.
Half-Life Source still holds up very, very well. Like, when you play through that, you can see how this evolved into what AAA games are today. Because, like, all the set pieces, and all the crazy stuff that happens.
And then Call of Duty happened.
Yeah, and then went and ruined it all.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Call of Duty is okay.
I guess.
It doesn't escape entirely unscathed because it has jumping puzzles. And jumping
I
puzzles.
was about to say those fun jumping puzzles.
Yeah, and there are several places where you got to go along tiny 6-inch ledges.
And also the amazing tram levels.
Yeah,
Puzzles.
but you know what? That's
Look
like,
at those.
yeah, I don't hate them, but they're not all that great.
Well, there's that one where, like, if you fuck up, you have to walk all the way down that corridor, and it's like 10 minutes.
I didn't.
Guess what I did?
You see,
I fucked up.
I played Half-Life 1 first in like 2008 or 2009, and I've played it, like twice a year at least since. So I didn't even know you could mess up there. Because I've already memorized it.
Just bad at games, Ackbar.
Yeah, this is one of those.
I'm bad at video games.
This is one of those games that I've memorized, so the bad parts are so minimalized because I just pretty much do them on autopilot, and the awesome parts are still just incredibly awesome. Especially the shooting. That's probably like you think that a game from then wouldn't hold up as far as sound effects and the way things look goes. It still holds up. It's still very fun to play, and presumably everybody on here except Atlas has completed it, right?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I just never went back to it.
Okay, so you have completed it at one point.
No, I haven't. I'm just saying that I never went back to play it, despite the fact that I think Half-Life 2 is one of my favorite games ever.
Well, you really...
You'd probably like Half-Life.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Actually,
no, it like
Half-Life's a better game overall, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of like...
Those driving levels in Half-Life 2 are just...
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Do you remember earlier in this thread when I said that Nocturne was rougher around the edges, but it's a more special game?
Wait,
Yeah.
Thread?
I think the
It's
same thing
Thread.
applies here.
Wait, Thread?
Did I say thread?
You did.
Said
You
Fred.
totally said Fred.
Well, somebody's got thread in the chat down here. Earlier in this podcast, I said that
It's podcast and
Not
in this thread.
rough around the
No,
edges.
this is a live action forum right now.
Well, no one said anything racist yet, so...
Cox, gays,
That is not
gays.
racist.
Oh, I don't really want to say it.
Don't. Just don't.
You didn't need to.
Hitler.
But yeah, Atlas.
Half-Life is like
well,
Hitler.
probably.
There we go. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yeah, but
That's
Atlas,
Zen levels. Hitler.
You know what? I consider a full playthrough of Half-Life stopping when you get to Zen. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the game's big problems.
I agree.
is Zen
I
just
agree.
really sucks. You agree?
I
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. Zen,
Did you
no
like
weapons.
playing through Zen?
Fox,
Do you
Zen.
like... Do you like
Zen, no
jump-
weapons, Fox only.
Yeah.
Final destination.
Yeah, only true gamers like Zen. If you're not,
Yeah.
you're casual. You're dirty casual.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
bad.
Beat up that baby. That big baby at the end.
But yeah, Atlas, like in general, you should play Half-Life, but it's not like you have to, because the stuff that Half-Life did that was amazing at the time was already done to death in every other game. Like,
Has already. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I disagree. I think that you should play Half-Life. If you.
you should,
Yeah.
but you
You
know.
should.
What's this? Because it's just a good game.
It is, but like
yeah.
but you saw the important bits of what Half-Life changed in video games you already seen in other video games.
Yeah, you won't. You probably
I
won't
don't know.
see what's different.
In
You
all
probably
video
won't see what it did.
I guess.
You probably won't understand what was so important about it unless you've
Yeah.
played shooters from a lot of shooters from before Half-Life. There's a very clear split between when Half-Life was made and before.
I'm one of those awful people whose first FPS was GoldenEye.
You're not an awful person. That's a fairly good FPS.
Like if you were born in the 90s, if that was your first FPS.
Well, I was born in 1989, so.
Okay, well you were raised in the 90s, I guess is my.
I was a 1-year-old baby in the 80s. Yeah.
That was probably my first shooter too. But like I said, I didn't play Half-Life till 2008. But yeah, if you can use a mouse and keyboard, like, play Half-Life. It should be cheap now. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah, Valve's just giving it away every week.
I don't know. I really wish they put Mr. Happy in it.
Mr. Happy.
There was a cut enemy from the game. It was supposed to be a giant sentient penis.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Well, Shin Megami
serious.
Tensei has that covered.
It's supposed to appeal to the fear of some sort of homoeroticism in preteen boys. Was the thought process behind the design?
Yeah, that's.
Are you making this up?
God, no. Hold on. I'll look.
This is a bold move for 1998. I mean, this is a problem that we haven't solved in video games now.
Well, SMT does have one of those.
Video games that people have played. No, I'm joking.
Persona!
Sorry. It was
that particular thing.
It was Mr. Friendly.
Mr. Friendly. That's
It
a
went from
great
funny to
nickname
being-
for a penis.
Yeah, it went from funny to being pedophilic.
According
My
to the
penis-
book
my penis is
Raising
friendly.
the Bar, Valve's Ken Birdwell had a friend whose 12-year-old brother used to draw. Ken had always liked his work, so he asked him several years later to do a couple sketches for possible monsters. He presented sketches of several very sexual-oriented monsters to him and Gabe Newell. Among them was Mr. Friendly with something that looked like a penis. The creature was to literally rape the player, holding them with its tentacle arms until the point of fatal copulation.
What the fuck?
And you're telling me that this enemy got cut?
Birdwell was quite disturbed by the concept and wondered if Newell would like it. It turns out that he did.
Sounds like some HR Geiger stuff.
They then chatted about the possible psychosexual alien behaviors and their relation to disturb teenager sexual fantasies. The sexual themes of some of the enemies were intended to appeal to the innate homophobia of 12-year-old boys, the target audience for the game.
I guess the head crabs, which are if you're reminded of Alien, kind of do that already.
Yeah. I just like that Gabe Newell and Birdwell had this conversation about we should make a thing that rapes 12-year-old boys to make them afraid of gays.
Now Half-Life 3 needs to be made.
Yeah.
Mr. Friendly is the only enemy in the game. That's it.
But
Play
yeah,
that game.
get Half-Life, play through it until until Zen, and then
Until Mr. Friendly.
consider a full playthrough.
I see.
That's your homework for the week, Atlas.
Alright, I'll take that under advisement.
Yeah, finish Half-Life.
Yeah.
You can play a mouse and keyboard shooter, right? Of course you can.
No.
Totally.
What's a mouse?
Is it like Call of Duty?
It's like Call of Duty.
Is it like
Their
Call
kill
of Duty?
streaks. Alright, it's
Yeah.
about time for
Okay.
me to finally talk. What's up?
I was gonna say, you have a kill streak when you look around and there are a bunch of soldier bits laying around because you use grenades, or that laser gun, which can take down frickin' helicopters.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking at that.
It's what? It's just Mr. Friendly.
No.
It's just
Yeah,
he's
He's Mr. Friendly. He's a nice boy.
he's here to copulate with you.
Yeah.
Be a good friend.
So, I played some games. The game I played, the beat this week was Little Inferno.
Pretty good.
It's very divisive. Like, I love the message of the game, which I won't spoil here, but it's very interesting. But the mechanics and what you do in it is very, very mundane, which kind of adds up to the whole story of it. Like, it's basically basically a toy like sim thing where you burn stuff and just see what happens.
It's a fire
So-
simulator. It's
Yeah.
it's literally a game where you burn shit.
Are you
Yeah.
playing on PC or on Wii U?
I beat it on PC. I don't have a Wii U. Who has a
Obviously, the Wii U, the superior
Nix has a
console.
Wii U. That's it. It's just
Yes,
because
I
he's
have
weird.
a Wii U.
Dumb question. I apologize.
Why do you have a Wii U?
My sister wanted a Wii U.
Why?
What? What?
And you didn't talk her out of it? What kind of monster are you?
Yeah.
She's mentally handicapped. She just wanted to play Mario.
What?
What?
Little Inferno. I don't know.
That got a little more real for you guys than you were expecting?
Considering
Yeah.
the general
To be honest-
humor you give us,
To
you
be
know,
honest, yes. I now
Yeah.
feel like a giant asshole. More so than I did before.
I feel like
That's
Mr. Friendly.
I don't know,
Um,
I met Mr. Friendly right now.
Damn. I don't know where to go from here.
Dick. Thanks for
You're an
breaking the
asshole.
pockets, you fucker.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry,
God.
that's the origin behind my Wii U.
This has to be cut. I don't. This is cut.
You
Just
don't feel
cut this
comfortable
next.
anymore?
No.
Here, this picture will cheer you up.
Okay. Oh,
The hair is what makes it perfect.
Yeah, it is. It does.
It's actually a 12-year-old girl standing next to it, actually.
It looks like Ronald McDonald's cry. That's the title of the podcast.
Ronald McDonald's scrotum.
Ronald McDonald's crotch.
While we're having some downtime, I suppose, I would like.
Oh, sorry, it has a mole. I just realized that.
Visual humor on a.
Sorry, no,
Audio
because we're like this is all
podcast.
cut right now. I thought.
Oh.
No,
I
this
don't
is actual podcast talk, dude.
Oh, well,
No.
never mind then.
This is going
Yeah,
to be
this
the
I thought it
this
was
is going to be the episode's image, you know.
Okay. This is Mr. Friendly.
Yeah. So,
Didn't I say that?
what's up? Yeah, let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I would really, really appreciate it if the whole section on Hotline Miami was cut.
Why?
I did a historically bad, like an epically historically bad job of expressing myself, and I feel really bad about that.
I'm fine.
No, I did
No,
Half-Life. I did Half-Life a disservice. So.
No, like mine was on.
I over-explained fucking your walks.
What's the problem? Like, because I don't get it.
I thought you did fine. I thought you got what you didn't like about it up fine.
Like, what, you are actually concerned that you said something about Hotline Miami? Like, also, speak up because you're kind of hard to understand.
Really? Oh. I don't know.
You did fine, dude.
Yeah.
What happened?
I really don't think I did. I really don't think I did.
Why?
I feel like because I was just talking nonsense. I was just like saying, bringing up Game of the Year awards as if that fucking matters. Like,
You just
It does.
take it so seriously. Like, no one cared, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
were just
care.
we're just cracking
Dudes,
jokes.
come on,
It's
we're
fine.
just joking around.
yeah,
But-
but then I got so disheartened that I didn't even take the time to try and sort of
fine.
explain myself and say that
You
actually.
don't really have to, explain yourself or have a positive opinion or have anything positive to say about anything. Like, if that was the requirement about anything, I would have to, not be here.
But that's the whole thing. Like what I wanted to say and what I said in the Google Doc was that I realized that the reason why people like that music so much is because they like it in context of the game where it's perfect. Where I was taking it out of context and where that's where. But I know people like to listen to the music outside of the context of the game, but it's just I don't know.
Don't worry, man. It's really
You're fine.
Not a big thing
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Not a small thing either because it's not a thing. Don't worry.
You did good, kid.
Also, Nix is going to have a lot of,
Million of a shot. Yeah, this is.
Nix is going to have a lot of fun doing this shit.
I don't know where this podcast goes anymore.
Next, it goes to the news.
Philfish. Wait, what were we talking about before?
Little Inferno, but then.
Oh, well.
All right, let's start over again.
Yeah, completely. Let's just start over. Give Nix
New
7 hours for the podcast, and just let him figure out how to deal with this whole thing.
I'm on board with this idea, and I'm not even joking.
No,
I'm not.
No,
I'm not that evil. Well,
No.
maybe I am, but
All right, Little
gonna
Inferno. Let's wrap
Wait,
this
what-
bitch up. What's up?
Wait, where did we leave off from Little Inferno?
I was gonna talk about how it's so divisive, and then I mentioned the Wii U, and then something happened, and then
Oh yeah.
okay,
Okay.
cut that Wii U stuff, Nick.
Get that Wii U stuff to like right here.
Yeah.
Next,
And-
I will PayPal you 20 Canadian dollars if you cut the Hotline Miami bit.
Don't cut the Hotline Miami stuff.
Don't
That's
cut
Okay,
that,
I'll
man.
pay,
That's like
I won't
15
pay you.
minutes.
Kidding. I'm not even kidding.
I'll pay you more. I'll pay you double.
I don't think we
But
can
what
cut it
you're
because
saying.
it doesn't fit. Doesn't work in context.
Yeah.
You did fine, Atlas. Don't worry about it.
It's fine. No one's gonna.
Yeah, and besides, if you feel like you didn't do all right, and I mean nobody's going to say anything bad about that, you can better explain yourself next week when you've played
Dude,
a few more
also,
hours of the game.
Atlas, like 7 people listen to this podcast.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Yeah, 18
God.
episodes, and we only just now got an email.
We had other emails
have-
from Bloody Guy, our most loyal listener.
How many?
My friends
I
do.
know it's like Bloody Guy and like Metal Gear Sunny are our only regular listeners.
Like no, we actually got pretty good views on videos on YouTube.
What's our average now? Like at least listening.
I can't say because Nix would have to tell me how many people visit the site and how many people go download shit on iTunes because I'm not sure about the YouTube stuff because we can no longer.
You guys want me to try uploading the YouTube stuff?
Yeah, I'll upload it if that's a problem. Or
Yeah.
Ackbarth
But
does.
I couldn't upload it on YouTube and neither could Nix, so I don't know.
I'll try. Just give me the when Nix is done. Just have him send it to me.
I'll send it.
Yeah, but let's get
Let's
back. Let's
do
get
this
back to
podcast.
talking about
Yeah,
Little
let's-
Inferno and Philfish, and then finish.
Let's finish this.
Okay, so cut from the Wii U stuff all the way to here next.
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
get timestamps.
Yeah.
So
Note them.
312,
Note them.
312.
Write them down. Write this moment of the call.
Okay, about 312.
Okay. All right.
Oh wait.
Why is it so divisive, Phatmac?
Well, like I've been saying, just mechanically, just it's mundane, like just burning stuff over and over and over, and waiting for things to show up. Like it's like an iPhone game where you physically have to wait for things to appear. So you order stuff, you get coins from burning things, and you order them from a catalog. And then when you order the item, it shows like a time when it comes, like 40 seconds or a minute or so. And you do this for a lot of time because you have 6 catalogs to burn. And it really feels like an iPhone game where, oh, you want this 4 minutes to stop, then just pay 99 cents. But that's relieved due to making combos of burning things like a pirate and bicycle, where you get a ticket. And if you use these tickets, you can stop the delay and just get the item that you want immediately. So there's a story, a narrative, sort of, but it's very vague at the start. Like, you get letters from these people that you've never met before. You don't move, you're just in a fireplace, and you burn stuff. And then the game opens up magically into a sequence that is just so strange and so weird that it really is worth getting over the whole fire stuff, because it really turns into a different game and just becomes something else. But just... it took me around 2 or 3 hours just to burn these things, and then it turned into another thing that just... it really is amazing at the end, but just waiting around for items to appear and then making combos and burning things isn't really... I don't know, it very much comes mundane, like, alright, I'm going to burn this thing, and then see a cool reaction from the fire, but... I don't know, it's... But without spoiling it, just the mechanics, the mundaneness of burning really speaks to games as a whole, and it has a very powerful message at the end. But I don't know, I kind of want people to figure out for themselves. But it's very much an interesting game that I'll remember for a while at least.
Is it by the World of Goo guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I like Little Inferno.
And actually, isn't the Goo Company in this game?
it kind of
Yeah, Tomorrow Corporation.
Tomorrow
Yeah.
Corporation. They are all
Yeah.
framed as as products of the Tomorrow Corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The company's called Tomorrow Corporation is just really weird. They have
Yeah.
a really weird thing going on.
Yeah,
I
very.
like Little Inferno, and I found the burning of shit cathartic.
Yeah, it's good, but I just got stuck because I didn't really. I guess I'm dumb or something, but I didn't really find a lot of combinations. I have to eventually just look it up online. Like, okay, this is the combinations because I got stuck a couple of times. But the burning stuff and seeing the reactions are cool, but for a 3-hour game for me, it really wasn't all that fun. I wish it was shorter. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe. All right, news.
I skip all my other games. That's sure.
I'm joking. Go on.
Last of Us multiplayer, quick. Has anyone played it or?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't,
It's really fun. It's really interesting. You basically have to survive for 10 weeks. You pick either hunters or fireflies, and you have to perform decently or okay at the start because you have these survivors, like a set amount of survivors that you have to provide supplies with, and you get supplies from killing enemies in the game or doing like good things like reviving enemies and reviving friends and stuff. But in order to keep your village, your society flowing, you have to perform decently at multiplayer. And like there are events like Firefly raids and stuff, and you lose some survivors, and the survivors are basically multiplayer aspect of the game where you have to.
Someone watching football in the background.
That's a
Yeah.
weird phone going on. I don't know. I'll handle it.
It's my jam back there. Guys?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sitting here reading about oil penises.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Good. It's a pretty good one.
There's some guy who says I don't do whale hand jobs right after the paragraph saying that whale penises are 16 feet long, so I'm just wondering what sort of monstrous machine would be able to do that in the first place. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, so
What's up?
Nix, you're gonna have to cut that part too.
No, he's not.
Stop saying that to him. God damn it.
Why?
Nick's your slave.
I heard you played some Sakura Samurai in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I thought,
Oh my God.
what about that?
Why do I even bother anymore?
You don't want
Yeah,
to
Last of Us multiplayer. It's interesting. It's fun. People should play it. Finally beat Luigi's Mansion. That's a really fun game. It's rather a bit longish, like 10 hours or so, but it's really my kind of game where you explore stuff and you kind of just the combat kind of becomes really fun, just grabbing ghosts, and it's one of those games that like ramps up the difficulty and the mechanics as you keep going on and on and on, and just the different mansions, different themes of the mansions are really exciting, and it's a charming game. Luigi is my favorite Mario brother. He's just so clumsy and just weak and a cowardish, but he'll do what he has to do because he has to save the day. And yeah, I don't know, it's really fun. My main problem with it was that there aren't really any checkpoints, so if you die in a mission, you have to start over, unless you find a dog bone, I think, in the environment. So that's
Obviously.
yeah. There's a whole dog section that's really fun. I don't know. It's a weird game. Makes Luigi out to be like just so headstrong and so cowardish and just has to do what he has to do. But yeah, it's really fun. Next level games. Hopefully Nintendo buys them, because this. If you didn't tell me this was made by Nintendo, I wouldn't believe you, because this is just Nintendo quality, a lot of polish, and just a really fun game. I haven't tried it on multiplayer, but I probably will at some point. I've heard good things about it. So yeah, it's Luigi Mansion 2, Dark Moon. It's pretty awesome. Lastly, I got Sakura Samurai because of the gold Nintendo membership thing, where you buy enough games and you get a reward. I played Super Mario Land already on Zelda, I think so. But I guess Infinity Blade or Punch Out is the best way to describe this game. It's very arcadey and very video gamey. Very difficult, actually. I died a couple of times. It's really interesting, really mechanics based and really fun overall. It has a great art style in the 3DS. It's 3D is actually beneficial, I think. Just overall, it makes it look a lot better. But yeah, it's we only got an hour in. It's sort of tough just trying to make out how the enemies attack and just trying to, I guess, counter them and trying to. It's that punch out thing where you have to dodge enemies' attacks and slice them. And yeah, it's very interesting up front, but I want to play some more of that on my 3DS, which has become my favorite console as of late. For all the games I'm playing on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's it.
when I guess when I make my Game of the Year blog at the end of this year, I can already see several 3DS games being on it.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope I can buy one. Really.
Yeah, I should get one.
Because a lot of stuff has been picking up. Like 2 years ago when or even a year ago when the 3DS came out, I was ready to mock that shit because nothing came out for that console that was worth my while, and suddenly now there's like an influx of games. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, someone at Nintendo probably has a brain. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, tons of games.
Yeah, now
Alright,
they just need to do that for the Wii U. Like, they got Atlas on board for one game at least.
So yeah, let's talk about news.
So, first of all, like, there was really 3 things happened that are, and the main course that we'll talk about later on in a bit. So, one of the founders of Eidos Montreal left because apparently Square Enix has no fucking idea what they're doing. It's a weird situation, really, because from what I've read about the whole story and situation, it hasn't been the studio was mistreated and the guy left in protest or anything. It's just that apparently, like, there is just nothing from fucking Square Enix to indicate that there is a future for a company, according to the former CEO. So I wonder what has to be with it that it happens. Like, what's going on in this sort of company?
I don't know for certain, but I bet it has something to do with Final Fantasy XIV being, taking forever to come out, and then not being any good, and then remaking Final Fantasy XIV. And that, to be fair, Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, it's the first MMO I played, but what I played of it was, a lot of fun. I had fun doing it, so they must have done, a good job actually making this one. But they also spent forever making 13, and 13-2 only took a year. But they're taking forever doing Versus 13.
And apparently, despite the fact that, like, Eidos Montreal really kind of had a hand in, like, the latest developments in Square Enix, wasn't really asked anything about like, they weren't really the part of the decision process in any way. Despite the fact that other studios did. So it's a really weird situation because it's really there was no big scandal associated with it. Like, I don't remember studios ever parting ways with CEOs parting ways with companies with outside of, like, some weird shit.
Well, that happens kind of all the time with Rare.
Yeah, but like it's most of the high profile stuff only happens when, like, there's some big scandal, like, like Infinity War or something.
I don't know. It kind of makes sense since Eidos Montreal, obviously a Western company, and then being bought by Square Enix, like, they have to be some cultural clash.
Whoa! Yeah. What was that?
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Banshees.
But then Square Enix turned around and considered Tomb Raider and Hitman failures. Not complete failures, but like 3 million sold or whatever wasn't enough.
Yeah, for Tomb Raider, that's insane.
Yeah, but that's that's the problem that's inherent to the industry we have right now.
Army games are so big they can't not fail.
Yeah,
Even when they're really successful, they're failing.
SMT4 sold like almost 200,000 in Japan in its first week and was considered quite a success. You're telling me,
because
I know it's much cheaper to make a 3DS game, but you're really telling me that 3 million people bought your game and it's not good enough?
Because they probably spent over like 300 million making the game in the first place.
Like, imagine how many rewrites Tomb Raider had to went through, and not just like script, but just like how many redesigns had to go. Like, also the problem is, you have to realize that that outside of like Wii shovelware, we don't really have budget games anymore. Like in the definition of a budget game we had. We don't have. Like remember a couple of years back, like you had Activision Value, and they were actually like responsible for releasing tons of shovelware. And that shovelware mostly exists to pump studios with some cash to do most of these bigger projects. It's kind of like the movie industry works with how we have 1,000 million of romantic comedies every year. That's because they're relatively cheap to make. And that's why, and everybody...
People are going to watch them no matter what.
Exactly.
They're always going to have a fan base.
They're going to bring the money that actually funds all these art house films, and like all of these Scorsese or Ridley Scott films, and all of this crazy Michael Bay nonsense.
Well, I mean, in the end, it really is, at this point, like, it's all for the Michael Bay nonsense.
Yeah.
Every other movie that comes out is more or less to fund the next, like, Avengers or Superman movie. As much as I love those movies, that's sadly the case.
Yeah, that is, but it doesn't really seem like it doesn't really seem like that movie that industry is going to collapse in a moment, and it's not like Transformers 3 is not profitable, because at this point we really have a situation where like a blockbuster game is not The
thing is, like, a lot of people don't realize, especially in the film industry, that they like to call this shit on, like how all the things are going to make the big blockbuster movies. That shit has been going on since Jaws, The only difference is there's a bigger, wider range of what they can do with a film in terms of special effects, that they stopped limiting on character interaction, which was necessary in the older blockbusters because they couldn't sell the effects by themselves. You have the same thing going into big games now. It's that the games themselves seem bigger and bolder and everything. That's simply because they can do more with it, and because of that, they seem to focus less on the gameplay because they know they can just make some run-of-the-mill gameplay thing. But if they pump all their money into making like all the cutscenes and everything look super fantastic and amazing, people are going to buy it.
Yeah, because it's pretty. Yeah, the presentation. I guess that's part of the reason I just don't think Uncharted is such a great series, is because it's all presentation. The gameplay of those games isn't all that great.
Uncharted 2 is okay.
It's alright. I don't know.
It's
also
right.
storytelling and just characters, more just presentation.
But if you pay attention to like why people actually like that game, they'll tell you straight up because it's a summer blockbuster game. Like, honest to God, they set out to make a summer blockbuster, and they did. That's why people like it. There's just enough character for it to seem fun, and the world is vivid enough, and the things that you're doing are crazy enough that you don't really think about you doing the same thing, shooting 10 million dudes. And that's the same thing with Call of Duty, is that there's just enough of those crazy like blow up moments or like nuke moments or no mushrooms.
It's mostly multiplayer, not really like.
Call of Duty is more multiplayer, but on the topic of Tomb Raider, though,
still the same.
Yeah, I get your point now, Ackbar.
Yeah.
On the topic of Tomb Raider, though, like the gameplay in that one was a lot of the gameplay itself was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a remarkable game.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, from
it's in my top 10 for sure this year.
I still really like that bridge section.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that; it's the whole game. Just shooting in that game is.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Fun.
But I'm just saying, like, the highlight for me of that game was the bridge section.
Yeah. I guess it was
fun.
Right.
But it was the most interesting thing.
But yeah, the whole. I was just gonna say the whole industry needs to fix itself as far as money goes.
It does.
Well, the whole entertainment industry as a whole needs to fix itself.
Yeah.
We are on the music industry is fine because it's going to collapse finally.
Yeah.
I really hope all of these big ass record companies just fucking die at this point.
You know what? If the video games industry crashes, for one, I don't think that it's gonna. I don't think that video games are actually ever going to go away. They're too ingrained in the public mind. At least not anytime soon. They're too ingrained in the public mind, and there's too many people that just absolutely love to play games.
Yeah,
and
stuff change.
make
Stuff is
games that they're not going to go away. So if a crash happens, we're going to have a whole bunch of indie games still trying to make it through.
yeah, probably.
And smaller games.
Well, it's the
that
same
might
thing that happened
actually
with
not
the
be such a bad thing.
first crash, because this is more or less the same thing that happened with the first crash.
Yeah, but
It's
the
just a little
first
bit
crash was
different.
actually
Well, no.
Well, it's
present
over-
the medium itself.
It's overproduction of the same thing over and over again, creating more than you actually can sell. In this case, it's creating things too big that you can't make it back. Most of these games, even if they don't sell well, they have to have a sequel simply because they have all the assets and they have to make money off it again. You know, they have to squeeze as much money out of it as possible.
That's why we're having Bioshock Infinite DLC, despite the fact that Bioshock Infinite absolutely does not need DLC.
Oh, I wouldn't mind, but that's
I'm not saying I mind. I'm just saying that's why it's coming. But
I don't know. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if
would
Ghost
you rather
wants to
have
come
Ken
to
Levine writing more Bioshock or Logan's Run?
I want to see how
Huh.
Ken Levine does with a movie script. I've seen how Ken Levine does with a video game script 2.5 times. So that would be
Moving on.
Bioshock 1.
Moving on from video game budget stuff, Shadow of the Eternals is back on Kickstarter this time after that whole Dennis Dyack, not really Dennis Dyack scandal. Yeah, apparently. But here's two things. First of all, David Hayter, one you may know as the voice of as the guy who is no longer the voice of Solid Snake.
Oh, I thought he was
Apparently.
a Master Chief guy. I thought he was a Master Chief guy.
Yeah, he says tasty after he eats snakes every time.
Oh.
And the second thing is that Dyack now wants somehow the game has went from not being it's no longer episodic.
It's just full now?
Yeah. And Dyack apparently now
Jeez.
wants less cash because the original goal I think was 1,350,000, and now it's just $7,500,000.
So how much you want to bet they just pretty much cut all the other chapters besides the first one, and they're just gonna make a full game out of that?
It's Dennis Dyack, so I'd say that the chances are pretty big.
Because that, to me, what that sounds like is we more or less had all the assets done for the first concept because they obviously showed some of it in the trailer. So we're just going to stretch this out for 8 hours.
It's pretty possible. Like I say, it's
Yeah.
pretty possible. It's
You know what?
everything about that fucking game seems shady, to be honest.
You want to know what my biggest problem with that game is?
Yeah.
It's not fucking Lovecraft. You know, no matter how they call that shit out, it's not Lovecraft. The closest interpretations of true Lovecraftian monsters in video games are actually Mass Effect and barely somewhat Amnesia. You know, they're entities far beyond what we are, far beyond anything we can be conceive or anything like that. We are ants to them, and they are men to, and they're simply men. They exist because they exist. They aren't fucking. They don't care about mankind. They aren't magical in any way. They just are, and that's what's scary about them.
You're talking about Eldritch Abominations.
Exactly, but every fucking video game that tries to go off on this whole Lovecraftian angle doesn't fucking get it. They always try to make them
they always have to
blind-
have an explanation.
Yeah,
They're scary monsters that, some aspects of it, but it's not really.
You can understand a little bit of it, but you can't imagine the whole thing.
exactly.
Yeah, but
That's
the problem is Mass Effect 3, try to
They
have
wrote-
an answer.
Exactly.
Yeah, they ruined it. Yeah.
But Mass Effect 1 and 2, they kind of had it good.
But Eternal
That's
Dark-
like one mostly. Yeah.
Eternal Darkness actually, I think, did a pretty good job of
Yeah, they did.
fronting that because they also didn't have the mystery.
Because there is no mystery. That's the kind of
Yeah,
point.
your
It's just the
antagonist
fear
is-
of not knowing. That's
Oh my god.
What?
You know what did that really well? The first
Ackbarthegreat. Yeah. Go on.
Lucas?
No,
No,
go on, Justin.
a little bit off topic, but Eldritch Abomination, the end of Hellboy, I'm reminded of
Yeah.
that every time
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
Eldritch
that's
Abomination.
because a Magnolia and Hellboy in general is very heavily based on Lovecraft.
Yeah,
So
but okay.
Everything's made from love.
yeah, exactly. It's crafted by love.
Yeah.
It's like StarCraft, but with ponies and bears.
Make love, not Warcraft.
So yeah,
Wait, what were you saying,
Ackbarthegreat.
Ghost?
Remember how you said they're gonna make it an 8-10 hour experience just starting out one level?
Yeah.
So they boast an 8 to 10 hour complete experience.
Yep. Told you.
Ackbar, what are you doing? You should be like a wizard or something.
Just
Oh, I am a
everything about
That's
this game and this Kickstarter just.
Just don't support it. Don't.
It's fucking. It's. You saw what X-Men like Destiny turned out to be. You know,
It's
high concept.
shaky.
Cut it. Yeah.
Also,
You have all these
coming
assets.
out. It's coming out on PC and Wii U. What the fuck?
Because
What?
PC gamers often seem to they really like the big good looking games that push their graphics cards, but they also seem pretty receptive of indie games that have a good aesthetic, and the Wii U just can't push much.
So they are banking on the platform that's not going to sell their game.
Yeah, more or less.
Makes sense.
You're trying
Also-
to like, hey, Eternal Darkness came out on Nintendo.
Also, there's
console.
the 5,000 pledge goal is pretty good. Like, you know what you can get? You can work with Precursor to demo the game at an event like E3 Los Angeles, PAX Seattle, or GDC San Francisco, but you must be able to arrange travel to the location.
Oh my god.
So you pay
Wow.
$5,000 to work for Precursor
start.
for an hour.
Bullshit.
It's a pretty good stretch goal. I don't know. It's a pretty
Oh
good
my
fucking
God.
pledge shit.
I don't know. I mean, you actually heard about that true Internal Darkness stuff, like how this company
I
really
did.
didn't do anything about it. It was mainly Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They Nintendo brought in their own producers, and apparently same thing was with Twin Snakes, because Kojima is actually like not Kojima himself, but like they had people
His
from
team.
Kojima just
Yeah.
looking at them, just saying, yeah, do this, yeah, not this, do this.
So, Ghost, I heard you've got quite a fish of a story.
Yeah,
Really reeled it in pretty hard.
yeah,
It's beer battered, isn't it?
yeah,
Looks like Phil Fish has netted himself up in a bunch of trouble.
yeah. So you
Fish.
You probably know this, but Phil Fish canceled. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So there's this guy, a real cunt, called Marcus Beer. What? He is a cunt.
Yeah, but that word's not terribly common, at least here in the U.S.
He's a real
Yeah.
slut.
You generally don't hear it in podcast. I mean, you remember when Vinny said it and they made a
Yeah.
meme out of it? That's anyway. Back to Phil Fish.
I've been known to say cunt on occasion.
Yeah, but have you said it in this podcast?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I don't have anything against it. I just think, bringing
I
it
think
up
the word
is
cunt is inherently funny.
It's pretty funny.
It
I think
is
it's funny
funny.
just how uptight people get about it.
Yeah.
I'm not uptight about it. I don't hear it often.
No, I'm not saying you're upset about it. I'm just saying people in general get really defensive about it, more so than any other curse word.
Yeah.
When it's a pretty common just word for vagina.
So
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it just means vagina.
yeah,
Wow. I learn something every day.
you didn't know it?
You didn't
No,
know
of
that?
course
You didn't know? You really
No,
didn't
I
know that?
fucking knew it. I'm
Seriously?
just joking. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
I've been on the internet
trying to
for-
make up for it.
I've been on the internet for so long. How can you not know what cut means?
I'm a 9-year veteran of the internet. What are you?
Right.
Yeah. I made my Steam badge.
So going back to the Marcus Beer. So he's an ass and a cunt.
Okay,
he's
annoyed
also-
gamer.
He's known as Annoyed Gamer. So
Like every other video game personality.
Yeah,
it's
so you
angry,
already know
mad,
what his personality is.
what his stick
Yeah.
is, yeah.
And he has a show on game trailers, and was it some podcasts? I don't
It
know.
was a
Invisible
podcast.
Walls. I
Fuck game
think.
trailers. I don't. Yeah, Invisible Walls.
That show sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, and he called. He basically called out Jonathan Blow and Phil Fish.
Call them fucking hipsters,
them-
right?
Whoa.
He called them tosspots, which is British swear word, I guess. And he complained that they did not. They call them fucking hipsters, and he called them out on the fact that they did not provide commentary of any sort when asked by outlets about the whole Xbox One goes indie, which apparently is a rumor, by the way. So
I
Blow is
think Microsoft confirmed that already. I think.
yeah, but like Blow actually took his time to answer, and he said that he himself did not comment because the fact that they're apparently going the self-publishing route is everything they know. So asking them what do they think about it is essentially like asking someone after a concert, hey, how did you like playing? So it's pretty much a question that possesses no value whatsoever.
So Fish went the rational route and more or less said, "Kill yourself" to him.
And he said it many times because he kind of went on a big fucking rant on Twitter.
That lasted like a day.
Yeah, like he just flinging insults. And some other dude got involved into that and started some mad accusations about Phil Fish like beating up his ex-girlfriend or something. Really messed up shit. And in the end, it ended with suddenly Fest 2 getting cancelled because Phil Fish. That's the reason. Not because
It's I don't know. It's just years and years of Phil Fish getting
high school levels of bullshit.
I don't know. It's just yeah.
But the problem, yeah. Like,
I don't know why he ever had a Twitter account because he's just like, so angry about so many things. Like he's the worst person to have a Twitter account.
Exactly.
So
But at the same time, you had to feel like somewhat bad for him. You know,
a little bit. I
feel a little bit, but
he's responding like every other kid like gets bullied would.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but at the same time...
But he's not a kid anymore. So
but that's the thing. That's the problem.
He's kind of like the bully who... to me, like, Phil Fish is the bully who one day got talked to by someone's parent, and now can no longer get over it, and now he's a complete pussy. Because, like, the thing is, when you are dishing shit out, and when you are being, like, annoying and loud and opinionated and you insult people, and you have little respect for your fans, then you should be able to take it, to take abuse back. Like, you need to have the balls, like David Jaffe, for example, is the kind of guy who has absolutely he gives no shit about, like, social standards and decorum. Like, he will say whatever he wants. Yeah. But the dude didn't, like, cancel Twisted Metal because Leigh Alexander said some stupid shit to him on Twitter.
And the best thing with David Jaffe is he'll admit that he's wrong if he's proven.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Also, David Jaffe's just fucking awesome in general.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And Jonathan Blow took it pretty well.
I don't know why people hate Jonathan Blow so much. He's like one of my favorite people in the industry.
Jonathan Blow can be a bit pretentious for me.
He is kind of full of himself.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just really, he's just a smart guy.
Really smart guy. He's really smart, but at times he's very pretentious.
He has meaningful stuff to say whenever he chooses to say.
Yeah.
Like, I may not agree with him or anything, or I might get annoyed by his snobbishness, but when he talks, I listen, because he has something meaningful to say about the state of the industry and the game design. And Phil Fish mostly has to say that PCs are for spreadsheets.
And the Japanese games suck, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
what has he made? Other than Fizz.
The context of what Phil Fish really actually said.
He's probably made some other games, though.
He was making a comment on the Japanese game industry, more than Japanese games as a whole, which Japanese game industry isn't the greatest right now.
Yeah, it isn't.
I'll agree, but the way he presented it,
but still, like, you have to have
about it.
I understand just voicing your opinion, but
it's called.
If you're gonna be like a public like person, then at least show some like restraint. Don't just say it. Like, you can say it, that's fine, but just expect that you're gonna get that reaction.
Exactly.
I just want to defend the fact that he didn't say Japanese game sucks. He just more or less was talking about the industry there than anything else.
Sure, but
he loves Japanese games. It's evident in his games, but just
obviously he's still a douchebag, but just defending.
Still, as I said, when you are dishing it out, you should be prepared to receive that too. Like, you have to know how to take it, and he clearly didn't, because he I gotta say, the abuse he got at some point, like, read through the Polytron comments. It's fucking garbage. It's horrible. But at the same time, he provoked a lot of that reaction.
Yeah.
Fez 2 being cancelled just
It's just
Also,
yeah.
also, guys, let's be serious. Fez 2 isn't canceled. You know, like he's gonna make it, right?
I don't
We all
know.
know that.
I don't know. At this point, I have no
He
idea.
totally is.
When Polytron just said it, like I don't know, that's
Yeah, no, the company he works for just popped up and said, nope.
He owns that company. He's like the
Yeah, but
head.
it's like him and another person. I think at this point.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
whatever.
so it's that game's gonna happen.
maybe. At
He's
the
gonna
same
have
time,
attention. He's gonna
you know,
show up
this-
in like 6 months and just be like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Yeah, but this point is it's really childish, and it really kind of shows, like I said in the Google Doc that this man has passion, but for fulfilling his own ambitions, not for like the craft or his fans.
Yeah, but the thing is weird is like during the GDC stuff, like on Giant Bomb, he seemed pretty cool.
I'm sure he's
You know?
cool, but just being
Yeah,
on Twitter,
but I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, there he seemed different than what he usually like appears to be. He seemed pretty cool, apologetic, understanding.
Because this seems like a case of he created a persona for himself that he cannot sustain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like
Anonymity, I guess, even in the case of
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to be a complete cock on Twitter.
yeah.
All right.
The only thing I don't like is that someone on the forums pointed this out that in the case of Marcus Beer, this is classic bullying, regardless or not if
Yeah.
Phil Fish himself is
Yeah.
a bully.
none
Marcus
of
Beer-
these people are in the right.
Mark-
in this.
No,
Marcus Beer should be fired by Game Trailers.
he is as much of a well, he's an instigator. He is as much as to blame as this than anyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter what he did, he's a dick.
Dude is basically one of the reasons why video game journalism sucks. Because you can have people who have no iota of professionalism or like fucking amateurs, basically, who think that the fact that they are reporting for any sort of outlet makes them invincible.
No.
No.
And
Like,
again,
just-
I think people. Video game
You should-
journalists don't control the industry. The industry controls the industry. Video game
Exactly.
journalists report on it. You're just there. You're an observer.
Yeah.
You're not part of it.
Game
let's
Trailers
move
should
on.
fire him. They should
Yeah.
just fucking just. I hope Marcus Beer dies in the fire. I hope he burns in shit and he sees all of his dreams melt.
did he
like-
report
He's such a
on-
nice
going to
person.
Did he actually report on Fest 2 getting canceled?
It's great, super. That's awesome. That's he
No,
should.
did he? I was curious.
I need to.
Oh, if that actually happened, that'd be.
He's a piece of shit. If he did, he's a living piece of human fucking garbage.
And you talked about us being professional. Or people needing to be more professional.
We're the most unprofessional.
Real good example. I'm kidding.
A bunch of guys on a freaking spike.
We're a bunch
okay?
of dumb
I know.
people.
I know.
This is
We're
professional
like-
you get.
Yeah,
he is.
I don't know. You
right
guys
now
are more
saying
in a
that
suit,
he-
and I'm drinking some coffee. So I'm doing.
Marcus Beer is currently talking how he didn't really cause Fish cancel it.
Oh, he totally did.
Yeah.
He wound Fish up, and then he just let Fish go. He saw Fish was flipping out, so he.
Like typical scumbag journalism,
Yeah, he's a bully. He let the fire grow. He didn't try to calm him down like a good person would have.
And especially like he should be fucking fired because you don't fucking insult people on a show that's outside.
Also,
And expect that you will not have any consequence out of that. Someone should have a stern talk with him, because it's one thing like making fun of something or asking sarcastic questions or asking questions, and it's another thing to just just provoke this kind of sort of shit.
and Phil Fish is well documented to respond to things like this.
Like yeah, like
He
still
probably knew
doesn't-
this was going to happen.
it still
It still
doesn't
doesn't defend Fish for like.
Yeah, not at all.
having a hit
We would
fist.
like to stress Marcus Beer is a fucking cunt.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, that everyone knows both sides are equally as shitty.
Shitty.
Yeah, basically.
The worst part of this. One last thing, just we won't be getting a awesome soundtrack to Fest 2. It's the worst part of it.
I just because I really wanted to see what the craziness behind Fez 2 would have.
Yeah, after Fez, I don't even know what.
Because you have to imagine it has to be
I'm
even
not
more
fucking-
insane, right?
Yeah.
Maybe this is all an elaborate scheme to get to
I
not
did
make
hear
Fez
someone-
2.
Someone did mention the fact that maybe Phil Fish is doing a Joaquin Phoenix. I'm still here. If any of you guys know what that is.
Yeah, where basically just
Like for a year of his life, or he just acted like a complete like fucking oddball. As like a
and you're
performance
just
art.
faking it. And you're just faking it. Yeah.
I really hope that's the case, because that'd be pretty great.
That would be pretty great, but at the same time, you kind of
I just want to play the game at some
You
point.
reach the point when when you kind of wouldn't feel, oh, we have a band. That's a great publicity stunt. And you would just feel, yeah, Fish. That's a great excuse for being a total douche.
I'll work on the game. Do something.
Yeah. The saddest part is that no one wins here.
No.
Yeah.
Because I was shocked by how many people got excited about the announcement of Fez 2 because I had no idea that game was so loved, and just people were flipping out with love.
Fez is, I don't know. No,
Fez is awesome.
Fez is just interesting. Yeah.
I haven't played it.
I'm not
but
saying
it
that
looks
the game is
cool.
bad, but I had no idea that like an announcement of Fez 2 is going to incite so much excitement.
When Fez came out, I had never seen the internet so unified. Or at least our little corner of the internet so unified. Like almost everyone was working together to crack the puzzle of Fez.
Like
It was awesome.
no, but everybody loses.
Yeah. No,
No
it's
one-
typical schoolyard bullying. No one wins in this situation.
Yeah.
You know?
It really sucks. So, yeah.
All right.
Phil Fish is an asshole, and fuck Marcus Beer.
All right. So, what other video game news happened?
Fuck Jimenez. That's
Yeah,
it.
fuck Jimenez from Stranger.
So,
Uh,
also, fuck
when
Squall
we
and
were-
fuck Jimenez.
When we were recording this, I got to the second Lancer character, and she's also terrible.
Zelenin. I always
Well-
forget her name. You can just take a
Zelenin.
neutral route and kill all of them.
Yeah, I will.
That's what I did
Close
not
enough.
turn.
Ghost, I believe we got an email.
Oh, we did. Phatmac. Do you want to read it?
I don't have it, but sure.
I have it. You
Can
want
you
to
give
read
it to
that
me?
shit?
It's in the
Give me
chat.
that email, boy.
You gonna read that shit?
It's in the
Don't
Where
chat.
is it? There's so many people
Scroll
talking.
up.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Don't scroll.
Just
Read
keep
it.
scrolling and you'll
I
see it.
even posted it twice, so you have more to read. So go
All
on.
right. Damn, that's fucking long. I'm not reading all that.
Okay,
I'll read it.
I'll read
Diablo
some.
3 is better than Borderlands 2.
If you don't read it, we don't get more emails, so read it.
I'll read it. Hello, listening to you talk about Borderlands 2 provoked me to think about it differently. Think about it from a different perspective when comparing it to Diablo 2. Chiefly, I
Three.
think D3 is better than Borderlands 2 on two levels. When it comes to obtaining loot and how satisfying the game is when played solo. What's up?
Nothing.
Okay.
Go on.
Based on the experience I had playing the game, it's a mere 40 hours, so I'm not an expert. There are pretty much two ways. Oh my god, I'm not. There's two ways of getting better items. You can either ninja loot it before something from someone else ninja. What? Loot it,
Loot.
or
You can either ninja loot it
randomly-
before someone else
Yeah.
ninja loots it, or you randomly team up with someone who has a shitload of keys for the chest that spawns weapons in the base and just gives them away. Neither of these methods made me feel good about myself. I either stole an item from someone else or got it for free. In neither instance did I feel like I earned it. Of course, Diablo doesn't nail it either. Skinner box, among other things. But whenever I play, I feel I deserve all the loot. When an item drops, it drops only for me. And when I use the auction house, I buy the items using the money I've earned. I also did some thinking on why I prefer D3 alone. While soloing Borderlands 2 isn't an option for me. Well, for me, it's because I can kite enemies in D3, while it is almost impossible in B2. The reasons are obvious,
Fuck
and
that,
I don't
you
want to
can kite
write an
people.
essay about it. But
Well,
there's
you did.
one thing I'd like to say. Having fun with co-op is fun. But fucking up hordes of monsters feels just good. Focusing on one shouldn't exclude the other. D3 did well, in my opinion. What do you think? Yours sincerely, Blood Guy.
I have not
Well,
played
Blood
Diablo 3.
Guy.
Borderlands 2 definitely
It
has
happens
problems with loot.
In every young man's life, when they start noticing loots growing in weird places that they hadn't grown before. It's completely normal. I know
And
you
that's
also might,
bullshit. 'Cause you can kite people in Borderlands 2 pretty easily.
if you have the turret, you can.
Yeah.
Though,
And
on
okay,
some of the
Skinner
other
box.
characters, they could be
The whole game is a Skinner box. So If you think that's a bad thing, then don't play loot games.
But on a level, I could see why. Someone like Diablo 3 over Borderlands 2, and I haven't played
Yeah, but
Diablo
I can
3.
get how Diablo 3 can be a broken Skinner box and due to the action house.
Well,
Since all the loot has to be balanced with the action house in mind.
Yeah. But
Just play
I
Torchlight
also
2.
do agree that it's
That
kind of
is,
shitty how a weapon can fall and then your friend can just come in and steal it.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 has some problems with loot. Why isn't there instanced loot?
Yeah, exactly.
That should be. I mean, that should have been one of the things that they did in Borderlands 2.
Also,
Only improvements
solo
in-
play should be done a lot better.
Yeah, it's too hard. Like,
I beat
They
that
get-
game by myself.
I beat
yes,
that
it's
game by
possible,
myself too, but there
it's
are parts-
still.
Okay.
There are parts
there
that are
are
still-
unbalanced.
Yeah.
Like the final run before you fight the final boss is kind of shitty if you're playing by yourself
Yeah.
because it's just endless dudes spawning at you.
Yeah.
But still, I love Borderlands. I don't know what it is about Borderlands that I like so much
Yeah, me
because
too.
I really like the loot.
It's the
But
Skinner box.
I think it's just mindless, right?
Do you know
at
what
some
a
point-
Skinner box is?
Slightly.
Slightly. It's a fella named Skinner had an experiment. I'm not exactly sure of the details, but he had an animal. I think it was a mouse that would push a button, and occasionally it would get something, like a treat or food or something.
Okay.
So you keep playing it, and you get this feeling that sometimes you'll get something good, and sometimes you won't, and you keep playing it to get something good.
Yeah.
It's
So it's gambling, more or less.
kinda, but yeah, you keep.
You're not really losing.
But that's what I mean. It's like gambling, but
Yeah,
you're not.
it's
losing
gambling without losing anything tangential because like fucking time isn't like.
Yeah.
It's actually called an operant conditioning chamber, but I like the term gravity gun better.
I know conditioning chamber sounds
You
pretty
said podcast didn't teach anybody anything.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to figure out what the deal with this quantum
The
physics
more
thing
you
is.
know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Hey, kid. I'm a computer.
Stop all
downloading. I don't know much about
Pork chop
computers
sandwiches.
other than the one my mom's got. She put some games on it.
On the topic of loot, I don't know. I didn't play like enough of Borderlands 2. Like I just finished it with the Necromancer. I didn't touch any of the DLC. But I
Isn't
do
that enough?
remember.
I'd actually play Mr. Torg and 1018 Assault on the Dragon's Keep because they're both actually pretty funny.
I don't remember like Borderlands 2 being as bad in the loot department as the first Borderlands one was, because maybe it was just my game when I had more luck than anyone else, and but I actually changed guns for most of my Borderlands 2 playthrough, which I did not since like the halfway point in Borderlands 1 because I just got dropped one gun and just it was all green garbage, you know.
Yeah, but
and I remember Borderlands 2 being distinctly better about it.
Yeah, but I never feel like I have a good gun in Borderlands 2. Like I feel like I get a gun, and it's not.
The enemies just feel way more powerful than anything.
I did spend
Especially on the higher difficulties.
I did spend one of those. I did spend one of those keys, and I got a sniper rifle that I've been using for the last 10 levels or so. That is really good. Other than that, I have not gotten a single gun in Borderlands 2 that has really satisfied me. It's
I also
definitely fun to play, but
I also definitely agree with the stuff about the chest because the fact that you get the best loot out of something that you need keys for is really stupid. And really, did you see the Gearbox Twitter and Facebook account? Really.
Yeah, I had a Facebook.
Everything that happens on that Twitter account and Facebook account is posting new keys.
Yeah,
It's fucking. It's really slimy. Like they created a shitty. They created a really shitty mechanic, and then they are trying
it's not
like
slimy, it's
Like
disgusting.
us on Facebook or Twitter to get these cool weapons.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe it's not slimy, but it's really like it's not a good mechanic, and they're really trying to perpetuate something that isn't fun.
It would be cool. You know what? I would be cool with that if there were a way to earn those keys in the game. Like you could spend $2,000 to get one of those keys, or 3 or 4. Or, the guns that come out of those chests are exceptional. So I could see it being like $20,000 for one of those keys, and you're almost guaranteed to get an awesome gun.
Exactly. But the problem is,
only way you can
most
get
of
them
the time
is
you
from-
can't achieve these guns through playing the game. Like you have to suddenly Borderlands 2 turns from a shooter inspired by Diablo into this game where you watch Twitter and see who tweets a new key. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah, but it's really weird that they would perpetuate this weird ass cycle.
Well, I don't even get on Facebook anymore. I only have to
same
tell all of my old friends to go see Pacific Rim, and that's about it. Because they're
That's
tasteless
all
people who
that's
won't
there
do it
for.
if somebody doesn't say go do it.
Someone's got to do it. All right, guys,
Always have
that's
to watch Pacific Rim.
Thanks for email. If you want to
Thanks
send
for
us
your
more mail,
bloody guy.
if
Please.
someone else wants to send us email, then you can do so at Giant Bomb Community Podcast @ which is like this little symbol, and then you go gmail.com. Dot is actually like the symbol too, not like actually .dot. So don't mess it up.
I'll suck your dick for some emails. Seriously, just send
That's
it
a
to me.
great podcast name, you know. That's a
No.
really good episode name.
No.
It is.
Phatmac does not agree.
No.
All right, see y'all.
Oh, and Fuck You Squall was a good one.
Yeah. I mean,
They got
No.
that got a lot of looks. They got
I don't know if it got a lot of listens, but it got a lot of looks.
Yeah.
we gotta be.
well, who
we gotta
needs
be
listens? It's got the looks, right?
Guys, we gotta go to
got
the
the sexy looks.
the Kotaku School of Journalism.
Yeah.
Wide, outrageous headlines for our podcast, so more people look at them.
Well,
That has
you know
nothing
what?
to do with it.
Well, you know what, guys? I think that Marcus Beer is a real tosspot.
You can't say that on the radio.
You can't say tosspot.
Can I say
You already
cunt?
said the C word.
Can I say
Can't
cunt?
The FCC is
Okay,
gonna be
Mar-
all up in our ass, dude.
Marcus Beer is a real cunt. Cunt.
Oh, okay, that's
Well, fuck the FCC. We're on pirate radio right now. Free
Pirate
range
radio.
yeah, because
Piratecast. R.
Arr.
Here is the Giant Bomb Comedy Podcast, straight from Somalia.
y'all looking towards the Assassin's Creed?
Oh, I fucking am,
Ursats
dude.
in
I
Creed
fucking
2.
am. I really want Arsassin.
podcast.
Okay, Arsassin is the fucking name of this episode.
Arg Assassin's Creed 4. That game does look pretty amazing.
It does.
That looks like the pirate game I've always wanted to play in some weird way.
You know what? You know what's a real bummer? Just to end this podcast on this note, that
Sure.
you don't get a sick pirate tricorn. You should get a fucking beaked tricorn pirate hat, not a fucking hood.
Well, you might be able to. What if that's like with the last game items you get? What if that's your piece of Eden?
Oh my god!
A hat of Eden?
Yes. This is the direction this series needs to go.
Yeah.
Hat of Eden, Sword of Eden.
What games are everybody looking forward to here?
God,
This
there's a lot of
year.
stuff coming out.
Christ, Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 4, Assassin's
Phoenix
Creed
Wright
4,
5. I need to play that.
GTA 5.
The Bureau.
Watch Dogs.
Wolfenstein? Nobody?
I actually do look. Is that this year?
No.
That's next
I'm
year, I
hoping.
think.
I'm hoping that it's going to be. No, it's the end of this year. I'm hoping that it's going to be a classic shooter. Like I've been playing Half-Life,
Marvel
and I really like
Lego
our shooters.
Heroes.
Isn't
I
there
don't
a Lego movie?
Yeah, there's Lego movie, there's like a Lego Batman. Lego is just like its own thing now. It's like, here are these characters that you know from other mediums, now we're going to make them in Lego form. And now they're part of a separate medium altogether. Cause, like,
wait
Lego-
a fucking second. When is Guardians of the Galaxy coming out?
next summer.
2015? Oh.
Yeah, 2014 with
Awesome.
You know what? So
Captain
Chris Pratt gets 2 blockbusters.
Really?
Yeah, he's the voice of the main character of the Lego Movie.
That's
So
No, I think he's
When-
not even the voice. He's actually the dude.
So when do
that's
we get a
really
Lego
weird.
Island 3?
That's more or less what that cop game was, wasn't it?
I didn't play it. I haven't been keeping up
From
with
what I've-
Lego games.
From what I have heard about Lego Marvel Heroes, it is an open world game, much in the same vein as Lego Batman Heroes 2, whatever the hell that name was.
That's pretty cool. Although the DC cast was way too fucking just not that.
Pointless. It was just Superman and Batman the entire game, and then like at the very end, like,
Although the jokes between Superman and Batman were pretty good.
they were pretty good.
It was pretty fun. It was a pretty fun game.
Also,
Also, in the Lego Movie, Liam Neeson plays Bad Cop.
Liam Neeson.
Bat Cop or Bad
Liam
Cop?
Neeson is Bad Cop.
Bat Cop? Bat Cop?
I have the
Batman
cast.
Cop?
I kept the cast here. So
So, like, is it like a
Chris
Bat
Pratt is
Cop, like Batman, or Bat Cop as in bad?
No, bad.
Cop? Okay,
with a
it's
D.
bad guy.
So you got Chris Pratt as Emmett, Will Arnett as Batman. You got Jonah Hill as Green Lantern.
What is this movie? Is it just
Whoa,
all
whoa,
these
whoa,
small
whoa,
things?
Wait, is it a DC superhero movie?
No,
or they
it's the Lego Movie, and they announced that, and just the cast they got so far is okay. So there's Jonah Hill as Green Lantern, Kobe Smulders as Wonder Woman.
Jonah
It doesn't
Hill?
make any sense.
Channing Tatum is Superman.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Liam Neeson as Bad Cop.
Who's
Will
Batman?
Ferrell as President Business,
Oh my god.
Okay.
and Nick Offerman as Metalbeard.
Metal
I
Gear?
would
No,
vote
Metal
for
Bear.
I would vote for President Business.
Yeah.
He sounds like a president who gets shit done.
him and Vice President T-Rex.
Wait, what? Really?
No, but I hope there's a Vice President.
Oh,
This sounds like the best movie.
President
Wait.
Business and President T-Rex. Like, think about that team.
wait. So is Batman in this movie?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Why?
Troy
Chang's
Baker?
Batman. Batman is kind of cool, I guess. That's
But who's Batman in the movie?
he's Batman.
No, but no, who's voice acting Batman?
Yeah.
Will Arnett.
What?
What?
Will Arnett.
What?
Yeah. God.
Yeah, I think
God for Arrested Development is
Will Arnett is also Casey Jones in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
Have we stopped recording yet?
That's
No.
really weird.
This is going on.
We're still
No,
podcasting.
Like, so what if like Spider-Man or it's like Lego Spider-Man and everything gonna be in it?
No, Spider-Man Sony.
Like I said, like the
hey,
Lego brand is its own brand.
Has there ever been a Lego Spider-Man?
Yeah,
there was.
it's gonna be
There's Lego Marvel Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a whole Lego Marvel
Oh.
toy line.
Oh my god,
that's sick.
Ackbarth, this is the closest thing we're gonna get to a movie crossover of
DC
Batman
and Marvel.
and Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I hope they do it.
like, they should. They I think they have the unique opportunity that they get away with it.
I need to call.
Lego's just a conduit to make these things.
I
No,
need,
seriously, it's
I need to call.
Lego Star Wars.
Right
It's its
now.
own separate brand. It's tangentially related to Lucasfilms, but truly the Lego band controls it.
Motherfucker.
and they
we
can
need
sell
to
their own
find
toys
this-
off of it
We need
shit.
to find. We need to find the Skype address to like the guys from Lego and just tell them that.
I'm down with that.
We need to find the Lego guy.
The search for the Lego
The
guy.
Lego guy. Master of all Legos.
So registry the search for Lego.
I've
Lego's brain.
my fortress of Lego.
You know what? The Wikipedia page is fucking amazing. So since this is an adapted work,
Oh,
they
really?
actually have based on Lego construction toys.
That's the. It's not a fully original concept for a film. It's.
It's based on Lego construction toys.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Uh.
And the guys who made Cloudy with it's being directed by the guys who made Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs and 21 Jump Street.
Oh, fuck yes.
That's a really.
Clyde with Chance of
complicated-
Meatballs is an incredible movie. Oh my god.
21 Jump Street was a really good modern comedy.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
really good movie.
I could do without Channing Tatum in there, but
He was actually alright. He was
Channing
decent.
Tatum is.
He wasn't horrible.
He's.
Channing Tatum is a man who looks like a penis with ears.
He was a stripper, so I mean.
His fucking head. I shit you not. Look, his head looks like a dick. Like, I halfway expect that at some point from the top of his head, jizz or piss is gonna come out.
Mr. Friendly.
Mr.
Channing
Friendly.
Tatum will play Mr. Friendly in the Half-Life adaptation.
I'm afraid of. I hope Channing Tatum never does a full frontal nude scene because he's gonna. I'm afraid that his dick has the shape of his head.
I think he's already done full frontal.
Like there's actually a little
probably.
Channing in his pants.
He's done full frontal nudity for like 5 years of his life before he became an actor.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
you
all
know,
flustered
Magic
now.
Mike.
I gotta go
Magic
see
Mike was actually about him.
Yeah, I know that. I need to see Magic Mike.
You have to
Especially
see
if it's
Magic
really
Mike.
good.
You have
It's
to see Magic Mike.
it's good?
is so
I get it.
Yeah.
I want to see what makes Magic Mike magic.
His dick is a little Channing Tatum.
Does he just like
His
do
dick's
meat
called
spins the
Magic
entire
Mike.
movie?
Hmm?
Does he just do meat spins the entire movie?
Hey, don't say that. You can get banned for meat spins. Oh,
Oh, that's
on
right.
these forums.
Hot
Well,
topics.
Lego out
Just
of
like
here.
the store.
Lego out of here.
I am the master of Legos. I imagine him being a fat
Phatmac,
guy.
end this, please.
Lego,
Make me cave.
Lego out of here. Let's go
That
out of
was
here.
horrible.
Thank you. I've been
You're
saving
welcome.
up this whole podcast.
Let's build this. Let's build a bridge out of this podcast.
Do you guys not
Let's
remember
build up
Lego
jokes.
My Ego
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. Like,
for Egos?
It's literally worse than my answer to Believer's question. What Phil Fish did else apart from Fez?
Huh?
What?
I asked it a couple times. I don't know if anybody
Yeah.
answered.
You know what he else made?
What?
Full of
Fool
himself.
himself. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Lego out of here.
I guess I have to get off the podcast now.
Phatmac is just having a breakdown right now.
Lego out of here. 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 Lego out of here.
Yeah, he has his knees to his chest and he's clutching them like brilliant.
Lego out of here.
We just gotta Lego out of here. We just gotta Lego out of here.
Lego out of here. Lego out of here.
What are you doing? You can't cook. Shut up. You don't
Oh,
know
hi,
how.
Mark.
We're gonna have to
What
call.
the
Hi,
fuck
Mark.
are you doing?
We're
Get
pork
the
chop
fuck outta
sandwiches.
here.
Gonna have
I'm
to
a
call.
computer.
Pork chop
What the
sandwiches.
hell are you doing?
Get the
Memes,
fuck out.
dude.
What the fuck are you? You fucking stupid or something? Get the fuck out.
I was joined by
Smells
Ackbarthegreat.
delicious.
Ackbarthegreat.
I'm a computer.
Stop all the downloading.
Who wants
Leave
a
her.
pot?
Please end this.
All right, this is over. I'll see y'all later, and the rest of my podcasts. God damn it!
Potterinos.
Potterinos, yeah.
Podcast mates will.
Well, no.
Welcome to
Podcatrians.
Giant Bomb Community Potato. Oh, and Atlas and Neo
Podcatrians.
here.
Ghostiet
And Atlas.
and Atlas, who just
And Atlas
mysteriously left.
disappeared in some mysterious fog. Like, I don't know what happened there.
he Legoed on out of here. Okay, bye.
Too bad you ass got sad.
Bye.
Bright lights. TV screen. Screen. Magazine. On the floor. Bright lights, TV screen, lights, magazine. feels like looking at a magazine. You run on the floor, feels like dancing is the way to go. Young boy, don't be late, this girl ain't really got time to wait. You think it's all for show, but this is just the only way I know. But if you let her see that fancy footwork, show her that you're not that shy. Let her see that fancy footwork, show her you're that type of guy.
You're that type of guy.